In the hollow where the shadows fall, we gather round, we hear the call. Liquid fire from the mountain's hand burns like truth, but it tastes like sand. Oh, it sure feels right at the end of the day. Drink it up, let the story stay. The creek laughs low, the fire cracks loud. We lose ourselves in a moonlit crowd. So thick it hums and sings, a slow dance wrapped in unseen strings, clear as glass, but it bites like a snake, sharp and cold, every breath we take. Oh, the stars know our sins tonight. That burn till the world spins right. The creek laughs low, the fire cracks loud. We lose ourselves in a moonlit crowd.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. G'day, hello. How are you, sweethearts? Welcome, welcome. I apologise. I don't know what's going on with me at the moment. My coordination's off, my fucking orientation's off. I'm just not myself. Never mind. Now, Tya Brandy and Sarah, I have emailed you the links, but I've also pinned it at the top of the chat. I've been trying to message you, but my fingers aren't working, so they're fucked. Sorry. My hands are completely numb. Anyways, g'day. G'day. It's been one of those days. I set up the stream for this morning and then changed it for tonight and got everything done, went back and thought, I need to lay down, fell asleep, woke up at 9 p.m, but didn't think it was 9 p.m, thought it was 9 a.m, and absolutely just completely fucked myself into a mad panic. So I've been thrown off ever since, and yeah, it's been a comedy of errors since then. But we are, as I said in this morning's, can't see me, in this morning's, what do you call it, stream, the girls have had a massive week. There was 3 court cases this week, one for Tya's daughter, one for Tya, and then on Friday was Brandy's family court with the grandchildren. So I will let them fill you in on that, but it's been a massive, massive week for them. That's why they couldn't do last night. They were knackered. 7 degrees out there in Kentucky. Well, I wouldn't get out of bed either if I was them. And I'm sitting here sweating with my fan on. Oh, what is it in Florida then? Like 26. I don't even know what it is here. Let's see. Find it easily. No, probably not, because my brain's not working. Not even close to working today. I honestly thought it was 9 a.m. I really did. And I thought I'd slept all afternoon, all night, and then all the next day. Like, I've missed my stream. I've done this. Oh, see, yeah, I would stop if I were you. Yeah, right there. All right, well, whilst we're waiting for them, I will share a little bit of their stream that they did yesterday.
That's not the right song. That's the one for the conspiracy and the weather and stuff. I didn't upload the other one. We got this one, though. Oh, I can't do the video clip. What?
That's the other thing I need to do. I need to organise this GoFundMe.
Okay, no, it's okay. We're not going to do a song. Anyway, welcome. Good morning. What day is it? Sunday?
Sunday. What day of the week is it?
Yeah,
I kept thinking it was Monday. I thought it was Monday all morning. I woke up at like 7 and kept looking at the clock so I could call the flower shop and call some other places for appointments and things. But alas, everything was closed. I couldn't figure out why nobody was answering the phone at 9:30, and then I finally looked at my phone and realized, oh, because it's Sunday.
It's Sunday.
So,
well, we supposed to done our conspiracy night Friday night, but we was wiped out. We had our court. Oh, it's Christmassy.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that one.
I'm just going to cycle through them and take
See
a
which
peek at them all
one's
while we
cute.
talk. Go ahead
Okay.
and
All righty. We went into court Friday. We had with the kids. I got a little bit of a surprise. I come in and I heard Mama, and I looked around and I seen my grandson, my darling, my baby, and we got to talk because I guess if you're testifying, I guess you can't be in the courtroom, and they didn't want him in there anyway, But school had been caught off that morning, I think, because of the snow, and so he had to come anyway. But anyway, he got to sit out in the hallway and drain Mama's phone dead playing games, and we got to talk, and we got to spend
games. He's
and downloaded some games. Yeah, Mama couldn't even send the picture today because
he's ready to get home.
he was
your phone set back up for him.
Yeah, getting his games ready. So I had to uninstall some games, Mr. Tony, but it's okay. Mama don't mind. But we got into court. I finally got to testify. I guess it was testifying. I went up and
testimony. So well, I guess it's basically the same thing. I don't know what the legal term
I had an epiphany.
Hearing, but
I had an epiphany about halfway, between the last court date and this one.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, if I don't do this, it's not going to get done.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't do this, it's not going to get done. Just kind of, I think I was relying too much on the lawyer, but not taking.
This is the only bit I disagree with in this, because Brandy is saying that basically she was relying on the lawyer to do her job and she didn't do it. So she's had to get up and do it herself. Yeah? Which is, that shouldn't happen. That's her job. The very, very first thing, if there was a court order, good morning, how are we? Welcome. If there was a court order for visitation in place, which there is, then the first thing that should have been done was that a violation or a contempt of that order should have been filed 18 months ago when this all started. So the fact that Brandy has had to go through the legal stuff and research it for herself so that she has that prepared for her court case this morning, on Friday morning, that's disgraceful. So what I've done is I've found quite a lot of information and resources on Kentucky law, procedures, forms, all sorts of stuff. I have I have forwarded it to the girls, but I will put it up in a package, like on a Google spreadsheet, and I will make it available. All right, so keep an eye out for that, should anyone need it, because she should be doing her fucking job. It's bullshit.
Taking into consideration her feelings as a lawyer, standing there going,
well, no, that's what you pay them for. You don't have to consider their feelings. No.
You're not telling me anything. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's not getting all the information, and so, you know, she don't, you know, so I thought we need a better system.
Yeah.
We need a better system. So you can ask Ty. I dove in studying everything, how to do it, looking up the laws, and this whole notebook right here is nothing but laws and stuff that apply to our case. And so I learned myself.
This is the guardian ad litem. This is the family, like the kid's lawyer. They can't fucking do it for themselves. Even more reason why they should be on their fucking toes.
How to do a contempt order, because we have scheduled visitation, and until there's a court order that says otherwise, we have court order visitation, and that's a violation.
That is standard. They violated it. Contempt order. Hello. 18 months ago this happened. Fuck. 18 months.
So, you know, normally, you know, we would have just relied on the lawyer, but this time I had everything ready for her. I had a sheet with all the dates, times, the correspondence, the sheriff's office. Every time we, you know, done the paperwork at the sheriff's office, you know, I had everything. Plus I had a copy made for his attorney, everybody's attorney. That way, you know. But anyway, I got up there and I testified, and they asked me to read the last message from my ex-son-in-law, and I couldn't. Y'all know how I am. I'm a big crybaby anyway. But
okay, I've just posted the link to a heap of information on the legal system, family court processes, forms, all sorts of stuff in the chat. So knock yourselves out.
Basically, you know, it was the message of him telling me, thank you for raising my daughter, and you've done a wonderful job, and I love you like a mother. And, you know, and I'm sitting there in the courtroom, you know, looking at him, you know, just brokenhearted, you know. And so basically I get through it. They ask me their questions, and I answer everybody's questions, and you know, we get done and everything, and we're all kind of congregating to leave, but not, you know. And God put it on my heart, like,
this breaks my heart,
heavy, to go grab him and hug him, the baby daddy, you know, because, you know, I hadn't spoke to him since all this has been going on. And, you know, I've got on here before and we've talked about it, you know, that family was our family, you know, and we love them. They love the kids, you know, that's family. And, you know, it hurt losing members of their family. You know, I thought we had kind of blended. I thought we were doing a really good job, you know, keeping everything blended and, you know, everybody together and you know, things like that. And I think the court kind of saw that too. And you know, I have to say, I was really impressed with them this round. You know,
what? I think she was impressed because things actually got done, and that's attributed to her and her alike. Like, you know,
with how everything kind of, you know, went. But I walked straight over him. I gave him a hug, told him I still loved him. You know.
Yeah.
And He said he knew that, you know, and so I think just, you know, the miscommunication, the
Laziness with your lawyer.
I don't want to call it backbiting. There's just been so much stuff going on that, you know, there's a lot of other stuff behind the scenes going on that, you know, it's a hard thing to understand.
Yeah.
Right. And, you know, I've tried through this whole thing to not get angry with people. I've tried through this whole thing to be fair. I've tried to
Lashing out, I guess, would be a good way to put it, like out of frustration or anger.
right.
You know,
I've
saying
tried to
things
hold
that are
back.
hurtful. I mean, like for other people saying things that are hurtful and harmful. I don't
Oh,
think
yeah.
that sometimes they don't realize like how much actual harm it does to the child and
Right.
to everybody involved and to
Right.
the system that's trying to help like figure it out.
You know, I've
But
told Sarah
sometimes I don't
this.
think that it's as malicious as it is just a human reaction. You know, when you feel like you're under threat or under attack or like you've got to fight
Yeah.
for something, like
You know, I want them
people will
babies
say
to
things,
be
you know what I
loved.
mean?
You know, I don't.
People will say things they don't mean. People
I
say hurtful things,
I
but
told the daddy yesterday, and I've told Sarah this, and you've heard me tell Sarah this. I don't want to be mommy.
right.
I want to be mama. I have waited my entire life to be mama. I want
Yeah.
to be able to spoil them and say yes, and you know, don't tell your mommy.
Yeah.
Just the mama. That's what I want, and I want him to be a good father, and Sarah a good mother,
Right.
and you know, and let's work this together. Let's just get this together to where these kids, they don't understand. You know, Tony couldn't understand why Sissy still ain't come home. And then he's confused about home, you know, the way we were talking yesterday. It's like, you know, it's
did he
Mama's
say
house
anything
and other
about
Mama's house, you know.
expecting to come home or wanting to come home that day?
I don't think
What
he
was he
even
expecting
knows
coming
that's a
in?
possibility. You know what I mean? Where he has been with his other grandma since he was a baby, and she has had more of the control of everything with him. It's kind of just, I know that sounds weird to say, but it's like accepted almost. Like it's that's just how it
Doesn't
is.
realize that that's even an option.
And so I don't know if he even thinks that that's an option. And I know him and his mommy had a conversation the very last time they were here, and it hit him, you know, how much she really does love him. And because, you know, he told her he had been told things that, you know, about his mommy.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's seen different. He's old enough now that he can read and he can see the videos and he can see things for himself, and he's intelligent, Ty. You know how smart he is.
Yeah.
And he picks up on stuff really quick. And so, you know, I've never lied to him. And that's one thing, you know, I had somebody ask me if the guardian ad litem had talked to him too. And I said, well, I don't know. I'm not sure. And I said, but I hope they do, because, you know, I know in my heart, there's not one thing any of those babies could ever say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't even think I've ever raised my voice to them. So, you know.
All right. I just want to go through this a little bit because it's important. And the girls are on their way. They're just getting coffee. All right. Let's embiggen this. And make that one, I think. Yeah. Okay. Can you all see that? That's better. Okay. So, the role of the guardian ad litem in Kentucky. All right. So, it's their job, and they're appointed by the court to represent the best interests of a child or other legally disabled person in legal proceedings. They are to be a full active participant, independently investigating, assessing, and advocating for the child's best interests. Okay? That's their job. It's not the client's. These are the actual laws they are bound by, their specific duties. So they are supposed to interview the children face-to-face in a private setting that's not that the children will be relaxed in. And often I've seen it set up in family court where they have a room set up like a childcare centre with toys and shit and drawings, and there's lots and lots of different ways to interview a child. It doesn't have to be a formal thing. So, you can use drawing, you can use all sorts of different ways to get the information that you're looking for without putting the child through any necessary stress. That's their job. And that's how they can do their assessments. So surely the whole reason these women went to court to see a guardian ad litem is because there was an issue. And the issue was that the baby daddy didn't return the children on a supervised visit. On a normal visitation, he told them he wasn't returning them. So that, to me, she should have gone, well, a normal visitation, there must be some court docs or court proceedings done, some filings. Let's check what they are, shall we? Maybe just an idea. Just an idea. Oh, look, here we go. Visit the child's home. Yeah. Maybe check out and see what it's like, because he's actually homeless, the father. Homeless. And violent. Consult with at least 3 knowledgeable sources. Oh, really? No, you don't fucking say it. Develop a case theory and strategy. What was her strategy? To let Brandy do all the work? File motions, briefs, and other pleadings. File show cause orders. Appeal decisions contrary to against the child. The whole shit. It's not good enough. Not even close. Oh, bugger off. So that's what I have pinned in the chat. And there is links to where you can obtain more information. And there's also links to different forms. And this one I did is basically like the process of if you've got a family court order and it's violated, this is the steps that you can take to address it. And it even gives you the forms. Right? So this is step by step, what to do, what to take. There it is. I think. Oh, that's the statutes. And then there's the court forms there. So it's got the link there to those 2 forms. And then it's also got 3 other places that you can get additional information. Okay. And these are what remedies you can expect from the courts whilst you're for that actual violation application or contempt application. All right, so it's all there for you. Should you need it. All right, let's get back to where did it go? They won't be too long. I'm not good in the mornings either, so
I don't worry about stuff like that, but putting them through all this has just been
A nightmare.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
They don't understand. They don't understand where home is. They don't understand, the mom and dad, thing. And you've got sissies now not with him.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. The dynamics and now them being separated.
Yeah.
Like what? Those
and
poor
that's
kids,
horrifying, because we've always told them, that's why we kept them together.
Is that a song you made, Simmy? I'll I'll forward it to them, Don.
Together. When we was doing the visitation, one weekend I would take her to stay with them. And that was something else they brought up. They was like, well, did they financially take care of stuff? And it's like, people didn't understand the way we had it set up. Scarlett lived at my house with, us. And she had her own closet, her own clothes and everything. Well, Tony also had his own closet, his own clothes, his own stuff. And the same was at her house. We didn't pack overnight bags. We just traded kids because we knew each other had
they had what
stuff
they
for the
needed.
kids.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know why it was such a big deal, like who paid for this or who paid for that. And it was like, this is about these babies,
Right.
who took her to the doctor? I did for 3 years. Her shots were up to date. Everything was fine. I did.
I've just emailed it to Tya.
And they're like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. I still get notifications on my phone when she has appointments, so I don't know. I just, for the first time, honestly,
Really?
I felt like the court actually heard us. Like they heard us. And I think that helping the lawyer, she can't express or tell him what we don't tell her, and that's what I'm.
That's what I'm not understanding. I need to clarify when Brandy comes on, because surely you told her what was going on, at least the bare basics, and then why didn't she ask any further questions? That's her job, I've got to find the name of their guardian ad litem and see if it's the same one as yours.
After all this time, I'm sitting here thinking, Brandy, you should have been doing this. I try to help everybody else, but I was
Ashley Sturgill. Her name is Ashley Sturgill. I'm going to look her up now.
thinking about, I can do this, and so, I got online and just learned, like what forms to fill out, and you can type in your state, your county, and, how to do a contempt order, and it'll give you a template, and you fill the template out, and, you can do it yourself, it's best to have a lawyer, but, we do have a lawyer. And like I said, it's been back and forth with her, as far as like how I felt the case was going. But once I sat back and I thought about it, like from her side of it, which I've been trying to do that a little more as devil's advocate here, trying to look at somebody else's side of it. And I got to thinking, how's she going to present any evidence if we don't give it to her?
Right.
So, I think we're in a better place now with things. And, like I said, just mending that relationship. I know I'm probably still not his favorite person in the world, but I love him to death. And, he's the father to my grandchildren, and he'll always be that. And so, and I just hope everybody can come back around and we can pull it together and think of these babies, especially Christmas time. It's Christmas, I've been, trying to keep busy.
Aww.
With, the toy drive and things like that.
Yes.
To keep my mind, from, thinking, what if I don't get to see them,
Yeah.
So, but we don't go back to court till after Christmas. But like I said in my post, God works in strange ways. So maybe mending some fences might help. I hope.
Yeah, let's hope. I'm getting ready to put the link for the toy drive here in the comments.
See? Right there. They're going through all this shit, And at the same time, they're still there trying to help everyone else. They blow me away. They absolutely do.
Yeah, let's talk about something else because I'm getting on whooping. I can't talk about them babies.
At the jail.
Yes.
Oh, let me put up a picture of their babies too. Whilst we're here.
Let me see if I can make us a QR code for that real quick.
I uploaded it. There it is. This is
Toy drive.
They're older than that now, but
and we know it's like. Oh, go ahead, Ty. I'm sorry.
I had to go better day too, and it's okay. Go ahead, tell me. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to tell them that even though, you know, we started this late, it's kind of a late ideal. Even if it goes past first of the year, everybody will get. Yeah. You know,
we're going to make sure that we'll get their toys.
Right.
Yeah. So then, but we're going to try to make it happen on time. But if not, if it's a little bit late, like we will make sure that it gets in there anyway. The QR code that you see above Brandy's head right now is for the toy drive link. It just has a few random items added in there, like on the list. But feel free to add whatever you want, whatever you think might be useful. You know, these kids, I'd say some of them probably need coats and gloves and things like that as well. Socks, shoes. Like whatever you can think of, because remember, like we've been through a lot of flooding, we've been through a lot of problems here. So, but I wanted to talk about whenever I got to drop the forms off, and I went in and I asked for Lena, and she wasn't in there. She hadn't got there yet, but Mr. Bryant is who came out, and I gave them to him. He was really kind, and he accepted them. And I told him that, you know, we'll pick him back up in a few days, so that I would get in touch with Lena, because that's who I reached out to first. I wasn't sure who to contact. So I reached out to Lena and asked her if, you know, she would hand out the forms and let me come back and get them. And she agreed. And I did get to talk to her on my way out while I was waiting for my ride to pick me up. And that was nice. I got to touch base and just say hi and stuff and say thank you. So we want to say thank you to the jail again for letting us do this, for giving us the opportunity to, you know, bring some positivity and a little bit of light to the situations. To all, and
also, you know,
that are touched by these things, that are touched by the system and by their parents being in jail. We want them to still see that, you know, there's more to this world than hurt and loss. And
and thank you, Lena. Thank you, Lena, for doing it for us,
and for all your kindnesses too over the years.
Because that's another thing that we've been talking about doing, is we want to start pointing out the positive, the positive people,
interactions,
the ones that are you know,
that are seeing things for what it is, and
they're trying.
They're open to creating a better future.
Right. They're trying, you know.
So we hope that it'll be a good influence on everybody else, for, you know, to see them doing the right thing. And like how Jimmy Kraft heard you out, like I'm so touched and so proud. And I prayed for that. I prayed for God to soften their hearts.
To
open their eyes and allow them to have some empathy and see the harm that's been done to everybody. And I feel like that this is the start to the answer of that prayer. I really do. My court went really well too. It got resolved, but I got good news. They're going to give me a transcribed audit of my child support, of everything that it's been like spent on, and like where the money's been allocated, who's receiving it now. There's no interest on it now. So we have that is better. And I was able to get a little bit ahead, catching up on payments over the last few months. So that was good. And I spoke up for myself and I said, tell me how this is right, that I'm still serving time, or that I'm still having to report and be supervised, even though I served out my sentence 12 and a half years ago. And he was like, well, that don't have nothing to do with the child support office. And I said, well, that's the only thing that's holding me. And so he said, well,
that child support is part of her parole hearing, her parole conditions. It had to have been paid off for her to have been eligible, and they, while she was incarcerated, they doubled it in their interest. So that's she was back at court on Wednesday for that. Yes, I don't think so much that it's God answering their prayers, so much to say as the proceedings of what's going down as we speak, which I can't say anything about. If they want to speak about it, they can when they come on. But there is a lot of shit going on in the background that probably forced their hand, no doubt.
Educated me on a couple of the statutes that explains how it's happening, and it's that it's until the debt is paid off, like, which we knew that part, but or until the child is 33 years old. And whenever
Holy
he said
crap.
that, the entire courtroom collectively gasped. They went, and I was,
I've actually got Tya sent me the audio recording to that, because her recording, you can hear her clearly, but you can't hear the judge or the clerk, the county clerk. So Tanya's got the audio equipment to extract each of them and enhance them. So we're in the process of doing that to send it back to her.
like, so I have to be supervised until then. And he was like, that's not, he said that decision isn't up to him.
So,
and I said, well, can you tell me who I need to talk to?
Can you understand that? So the court, the family court orders with regards to Tya's parole and visitation rights, okay? This is how fucked up the system is. She has to have supervised visitation. At the moment, at the point of where the proceedings are, supervised visitation with that child, who is now 27, I think, and that goes to the age of 33. Supervised parental visitation until they're 33. Really? What the fuck?
To about this, because I'm sure that you can see that nothing about this is right.
No.
Right.
And I said, and two, on top of that, on the day of my final sentencing, they increased the amount by 2/3, by more than half of what I owed.
It's only early there, isn't it? Sorry. I keep forgetting. It's Monday night here, so actually it's Tuesday morning.
So that it would accrue more arrears. So that's not right either. And he said, he was like, I realized that the last 22 years have been messed up. But I'm new here, and we're trying. We're doing the best we can. So I felt like that was a win. Like, they actually listened to me. They were respectful to me. They gave me what I asked for, and they put it off. They reset it again for January 14th, which gives me time to do more research and see.
They don't live there anymore, but this is in Letcher County, so Letcher County Courthouse. So that's where the court proceedings are. That's where the filings were.
You know what the next steps are going to be.
Judge Kraft.
Hi, Melody. So
I'll just skip ahead here because Brandy's on the phone to Sarah, and Sarah comes on and has a chat. So whilst we're waiting for them, they'll at least have less to talk about when.
I know. Saying basically, speakerphone, and you can hear it. Okay.
That's what I said to her. I really want to ask you, Kim, why you believe that in my custody, Scarlett is not in a safe and secure home. The accusations keep getting thrown out left and right, but nobody can tell me or give me actual factual evidence why my child is not safe and secure with me. I hate to say this, but you have proven that she is not safe in your hands. You have not been able to protect her from Jimmy and his mental abuse.
This is Sarah's text message to the Scarlett, her daughter's grandmother. So Jimmy is the baby daddy, and he is living currently with his mum, who is Sarah's talking about right now. She sent the text message to.
don't understand your viewpoint of it. I would love for things to go back to normal where we were all a happy coexisting family. The kids had both sides of the family, and ever since all this mess, all they have had is separation and alienation, and sad, honestly, because nobody has thought of Tony and Scarlett's best interest in this whole situation.
Yes.
Because she's been trying all morning. She messaged me too, and I just hadn't said anything. But
she's
She
not
was
satisfied
only
with the
just trying
court
to butter
once she
me up,
gets
giving me the visit next Saturday. I knew exactly
she
what
told
was
Sarah
doing.
she would let her have a
Why?
visit next Saturday.
I made in 2023 alone $70,000. Tell me why my child is so in an unstable, secure household.
Yeah, they said
I
we
have
was in
years.
poverty. And she
What
makes
is
$72,000 a year.
Poverty does not equal abuse.
Right. Poverty don't equal abuse. That's right.
That's right.
As long as there is power, there is heat, there is water, there is food, there is a happy child, that is a happy home. I don't care how much money is in it. I don't need extra money to buy extra things. I don't need luxuries. I don't need none of that. I need my kid happy and healthy. That's the only thing I need in this life, to be happy. And if anybody needs anything different, then they're not a true parent.
No.
But I think, this is my belief, if we would let these kids, and I'm sorry, baby, I didn't make my hair, I called you baby, but everybody knows Jimmy and Sarah, they're my kids. If they would literally let them sit down, just them, the mommy and the daddy, with Jimmy Kraft, and let them do this and leave us out of it. We're grandparents.
She wants the control.
She wants control.
Why I cannot have any more kids. I can't have any more kids. Her son has the luxury that he can go knock up any Tom, Dick, and Harry that he decides to choose to. I can't have any more.
Baby.
I risked my life. I could have died having Scarlett.
I know. I know.
That's Sarah's buy me a coffee that's listed, that's above Brandy's head now. Okay. So, Sarah?
It's his baby. It's my baby, too. I grew her.
I know, but the thing of it is
255 injections.
I know.
To be able to even keep her inside of my body, to birth her. So when people want to say I only had her to try to sell her and give to my brother, that's a freaking joke. That's a freaking joke.
Yeah.
I can show where I planned to have her. I can show where I planned out my fertility. I started taking fertility drugs. So people can say whatever they want, but that's my baby.
Well, the thing,
Scarlett and Tony are both my babies. Yes, they're everybody else's babies in another sense, but they are mine.
Right, you're their mama.
They know my heartbeat from the inside.
That's right. And that's what I was saying earlier. They need mommy and daddy to work. We're grandparents. Of course, I want to be there. I want to be there for everything, But we've missed graduations. We've missed birthdays. We've missed holidays.
Like
everything.
Yeah.
I missed
somebody else's child just so that you can experience it.
She missed her first day of school.
So, and Sarah, I have a question. Like you were explaining a while ago, whenever you first called, before Brandy put you on speaker, like what she was saying about being guardian de facto. Can you explain that? Like what that is? Let's tell people what that is first of all, and how that is such an audacious slap in the face for her to call and say that this morning after what just happened.
Me too.
Yes,
and I hadn't said nothing.
And how it shows and
for guardian de facto.
Okay, let me just explain that. So, what's happened is the grandmother has, when Sarah had a few mental health issues and postpartum depression when Charlotte was born, the grandmother got her to sign what she explained was medical consent, like power of medical consent for the child, just so that she could take them to the doctors and what have you. But it turned out to be not that. It turned out to be this guardian, what did she call it? Guardian de facto, or equal to a legal guardian, basically. So, yeah.
Children, she's telling me and telling the world I am not a fit mother.
Yeah.
She wants to step in and she wants to be mommy because she can't stand to have an empty nest. The whole family knows it. I don't know why she won't step off my kids and just go after the new one he's having.
Okay.
She will.
So
She will.
She will.
let's talk about the
But-
evidence that you got to present the other day in court.
Oh,
And
yeah, the evidence that
Brandy's
was
testimony and how what happened in court goes directly against how what she's doing and saying goes directly against what happened in court.
They were in several, Kim and Jimmy both were in several different contempts of court where they have lied. They were called out because they lied.
I had every one of them.
We had the messages to prove the visits. Kim was trying to say that she was the primary
And you got to
caretaker
show
of
all those
Scarlett, and
messages
she
to the
had her
judge,
just as
correct?
much as mom did. No, you didn't. No, you
And
didn't.
I had
We
proof.
got her every other weekend, and if you ask for extra time, yes, we did give it to you because we are selfish-hearted, nasty,
way-
black-souled monsters
The way
who
we
want to rip these children's
Wait a minute.
hearts apart.
the way we have always been fair with them. We have always been, I mean, as accommodating as
I'm
possible.
sorry,
But
I'm
because
sorry,
of how
I'm
they
sorry
done us
for-
with Tony, from the day Scarlett was born, we took a picture a day of her. One
So
picture a
that's-
day
Wow.
because they tried to say with Tony we had no part of his life, which that was a lie. But
Louise, this is only the scratching the surface, darling. This is only one aspect that poor Brandy and her daughter are dealing with. And that doesn't even touch the whole Judge Mullen stuff at all. At all. And Simi, 100%, mate. 120%. This shit needs to go out there. And that's why I'm really trying to I've got to pull my finger out. I managed to get onto what's it called? GoFundMe. And then I got to the point where I had to put photos and an explanation up, and I went on a I went down a rabbit hole. Yeah. But it will happen. It will happen. Only just to get them a computer each, you know? Fuck.
day
Oh.
one,
Also,
we had proof.
Shayla said that she will be there next court day. So our witness to him. So when we were in court the other day, and yes, I do have a record. If they can record me, I can record them.
Yep, you can have any conversation you're part of, baby.
He said in his testimony that
Yeah.
he had her primarily since birth. That he took her to Tennessee, and she lived in Tennessee with him for 3 months, even though he is almost there for 2 years. All this and that. So
I walked
the witness
in and
to that,
proved every bit of it wrong.
his girlfriend at that time
Mhm.
is going to be there, and she's the witness to him trying to sign over his rights. She's the witness that he never, not one time, he got to keep her one time once he moved back from Tennessee in Kentucky. He lived on Dean. He got to keep her one time.
All right. You want to see
One time,
you want to see a video of the baby daddy?
and that is it.
Because I found one. Let's have a look, shall we? Oops, wrong one. Come on. Where are you? Share screen. There. Be there. Oh, excusez-moi. Okay. Can I make it bigger? Can I? Whoa. Okay. That's Sarah. He was just talking to the child. Your mummy has to be worried about herself all the time. Should we go back and listen to that? You piece of shit. Oops. Who knows? You can't hear that. Can you not hear that? Maybe it's just playing in my ears. Hang on, I'll take my ears out. Settings. Okay, hang on. I will take that off and put it onto the speakers, and then you'll be able to hear it. Okay, I'll go back to the start. Sorry, guys. I could hear it really well in my ears. That better? I don't know if I've done it right or not. Can you still hear it? Oh, for fuck's sake, Jodie, come on, get your shit together. Oh. That one. I told you I'm not with it. I'm not at all. My hands aren't working.
Are you
That's
going to
better.
open the window out?
I'm not the goddamn door. You know, before you come over and do something about it. You want it wouldn't be
Oh. Hey, Brian.
And tell my brother can get the goddamn truck, though.
Okay, then go.
Thank
Now,
you.
How the fuck did I take
you don't keep crying. You're shut the fuck up. Don't get your bags. And look, door, you got to the other fucking door.
Steve, that your mommy has to be worried about herself all the time?
Get your bag and leave.
God, help.
Get your fucking bag and leave.
We'll make days. We'll get you.
Get out. Get out. Did I tell you don't bring my house down to the ground? It'd be a shame. You better be getting your bag and getting out. I will call the cops. You literally just broke and entered the fucking house.
You think I'm scared of that?
You just broke and entered.
You think I'm scared of that speech and talk?
I'm not talking to anyone. That's
You're not-
it.
Bullshit.
Get the fuck out. I'm not playing with you. Get out. Jimmy, get out. You know I don't want to call the cops on you. Now get out.
No.
Get out.
Come on, let's pretend like you care about me.
Get out.
Come on, let's pretend like you care about me.
Out.
Oh, yeah.
You
Now.
narcissistic fucker. Gaslighter.
Stop taking up for me. Stop talking about me. Stop doing everything. Leave.
Stop being real about who the fuck you are.
Leave.
Fuck, how you worried
Get
about
out of my face. Leave. Get out.
Oh, fuck you.
Get out.
I've done nothing to get to you.
Jimmy, do you want me to go get your goddamn restraining order on you? Wow. You didn't find that fucking name. You're going to jail. You're going to jail. You're going to jail. Fuck your someone's goddamn house and just walk on in. Fucking idiot.
And this is who the court was happy to send the children home with. And he did it in court. He threatened her solicitor and the bailiff in court, and the judge sent them back. This is in Letcher County in Kentucky, USA. Ah, what goes the diddle? And lovely. How are you? Do so.
Hello, good morning.
Oh, man. Oh. How did you sleep?
I slept amazing. It's so cold here. Let me turn this TV off. Hold on. What is going on? Okay, sorry. I slept so good.
Oh, that's good.
It's really cold here. And
yes,
it's
7, isn't it?
6 degrees right now, and you know the sun's up. So last night I struggled a little bit. I had to rearrange my heaters and put blankets up under the doors and stuff like that. But we finally got it nice and toasty. But I did have to sleep on top of the electric blanket all night. I usually get hot flashes 10 minutes to turn it off, but last night it stayed on high all night long. So
after I spoke to you this morning, I laid on the bed because I had some fluid in my legs. So I'll just lay here and try and let it drain.
Yeah.
Fell asleep, woke up at 9 p.m. in an absolute mad ass panic going, oh fuck, I've slept through all night. It's the next day. I've missed the stream. I thought it was 9 a.m.
I had 2 or 3 days like it last week where I couldn't get up. I could not wake up. I was just so exhausted. It's so tired. The fatigue is what it is. It's when your blood gets low, your fluid levels go up, your hormones are wonky, and the autoimmune shit, it will take you out.
And
it just makes you feel exhausted, like heavy, tired.
Yep.
I would sleep for 18 hours, be up for 2 or 3, and then be like, I got to go back to bed. I'm ready to sleep again, and sleep for 12 more. I did that for days.
Myalgia. You just add pain.
Yeah.
You've got fibro right there. No, it's bullshit, isn't it?
I got up and called Brandy this morning. I said, what are you doing? She said, sitting here with my coat on. I said, I saw a picture of selfie of me and my coat, too. We was all both bundled up in full gear sitting in the bed this morning. Feels like the old days. I remember my mama bundling us up in layers and layers to keep us warm in these old houses.
Well, it's been quite warm here. It's like been in the 90s, but today it dropped down to in the 60s. So that's what's making me hurt. That difference, that changeover.
Now that warmer weather, I crave that sunshine and heat. I miss the summer so bad in the wintertime. I love winter. I think it's beautiful. And I like being out there and stuff in it. But like my body with the vasculitis and stuff being so bad and the anemia, it's really hard. So Dusto's got me 3 or 4 electric blankets, and he tries real hard to keep me warm because, that's when I'm in the most pain is whenever my body gets cold. Like I'll be
100%.
comfortable temperature internally, but the externally, it just hurts my veins and stuff so bad. So
Brandy's
that's been the biggest key to my pain relief, really, I guess, is keeping myself nice and warm and pliable. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I messaged her a second ago and told her I was in here. She said, I'll be right there.
I was playing everyone some of your stream from yesterday. So we got through what Brandy's pretty much court update. So it's which is good. What was that? I needed clarification on. Did she not tell the guardian ad litem the details of what was going on? Because it's like she's done all the work for her.
Yeah, they showed them the videos. They told them everything. They told them from what time they could get them to listen to them.
So why didn't she file a fucking
They're just now starting to listen. They're just now starting to listen.
Why didn't they follow that contempt order at the very start when he kept the kids? They had
There's 10 of them. There's 10 different visits that's been missing. 10 times she's in contempt. She is. There she is, still bundled up. I still got mine laying here beside me.
We got ears burning.
It
I
is
was telling
cold.
how cold it was this morning.
I think it was 6 degrees down here.
Here.
Yeah. Teresia sent me a photo of snow-covered grounds. She's out there in Lawrence County.
No more snow, no more this. We're right at the beginning of winter, and I'm already tired.
Uh-huh. Yep. It's a bit like
It
that.
just makes the body hurt so bad.
Yeah. You know you're getting old, don't you? It's like, I don't want to feel old.
Nope.
It sucks ass. I shouldn't be feeling this bad at this age. So we were going through a bit of your court case, Dale, with the kids on Friday and how that transpired and how much work you've done. Because I just think she hasn't done her fucking job at all. That contempt order should have been filed 18 months ago. It's bullshit.
Oh, it was an experience Friday. Good, bad. I mean, it was a little bit of everything. Honestly, I was like I said, disappointed in her that we didn't get to bring them home, but I felt like steps was made in the right direction, though,
Excellent.
and getting to see him was a highlight of the whole day anyway, getting to see him again. And me and him got to hang out and talk and play video games, and he drained my phone right out, but Mama did not care not one bit, could care less.
How old is Tony now?
Well, you better get them games downloaded back before he gets home. He's going to kick your butt.
Yeah.
You better build them back, Mama.
I was trying to send Ty a picture, and I'm like, Ty, it says I have no storage at all, none. So I had all these games downloaded, and I'm like, okay, all right.
I ordered a battery for that other laptop this morning.
That'll be good.
Yeah, or I ordered it last night. It'll be here in a couple of days. I finally ordered us some Christmas presents too. So.
Did you?
Yeah, I think I did pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah. I still got a lot of handmade gifts today to do, though. That's what I'm going to do is sit down and do handmade stuff today after we get done.
Oh, cool.
I might even go live and do some if you want to jump on with me and do craft time with me.
We can do that.
Yeah. We'll do some dual craft.
We ain't figured out yet. I don't know what I'm doing.
So he's got to find us each an ash log so we can make a Yule log.
You need a one of those GoPro helmets video cameras. So
somebody gave me one a couple of years ago, and it rolled down the mountain.
Well, it's not good there.
Yeah, so it's somewhere up here. Either that or a goat has swallowed it by now. I'm not sure. I can't find
it if you need it.
Yeah, it's in the case though. So whenever I do run across it, it'll probably still work. I'd like to see what kind of footage is on it. I dropped it.
See what happened.
Yeah. It went just a pinging and a bouncing and a rolling.
Were you overall happy about the outcome of Friday? Apart from them not coming home?
I was. I mean, I was.
Bittersweet, isn't it?
Yeah. I felt like we got heard for once, which was just, well, that was the first time I'd got to testify. So it's the first time anybody had heard my side of anything, And so that, I think, just being heard, that felt good. But, huh?
Did you say that the judge cried?
Hey, I think I teared up. We all teared up because I gave the dad a hug, and I told the kids, I said he can either punch me or he can hug me back, but I'm giving him a hug because as I was sitting there reading those messages between us, you realize there's a relationship there. He's like a kid, and it was hard. It was hard to have to look at him, and him tearing up, me tear up, everybody tear up because, at one time we all cared about each other and worked it out, for these kids. And so I think it was just one of them moments of, I don't know if what they thought I was going to do. I mean, nobody lunged after me, thank God, because I had no bad intentions at all. But like I said, it was a conversation that needed to be said. I've not said a word to him since, all this has happened, and just to be able to say, and I believe I told him, you're an asshole, but I love you, and you're their dad.
I put that to the audience this morning on my stream, and I said, I don't think that I could have done it. So more power to you. I don't think I could have done that after everything. So my hat's taken off again.
I think if it wasn't for Tony and Scarlett, I probably couldn't have. If it was me, I'm sure with my own, but knowing that's their dad, that's always going to be their dad.
Yep. And that's the one reasonable, rational way to approach it. Like,
yeah,
everyone could be like that.
And,
but they're not together, the kids.
Somebody needs to hear their side of it, They miss their mommy, they miss their daddy, they miss each other,
they're separated right now.
Right. So they're not even together.
Why is that?
Well,
He went with Dad and he stayed with the other grandma.
Yeah.
Dad didn't take him.
The other grandmother had both children, and Dad went and picked up Scarlett, and the way he explained it to me was he wanted to be a dad. He wanted to be a dad, and I guess like I told Ty, I've been trying to devil advocate a whole lot, like if that shoe was on the other foot, and if that was, but they got to understand, that Sarah wants to be a mommy too.
Yeah.
And like I told them last night, I even asked Sarah, and I told her, I said, be honest with me too. If all of us got out of the way, us grandmas and everybody's opinions, and let you and Dad and the judge and the guardian ad litem talk, do you think you could work it out? And she said, yeah. And I think they could.
Hell, she was open to that a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's what she was asking for. Nobody give her the time of day and let her hear her out.
So, and that's the thing. She never ever, it's not, at any point has it been an issue that, like, we want the kids and they're our kids and nobody gets the kid, we want to share the kids be happy, and let's work out some kind of schedule that everybody can live with, be happy with, and, not everybody's going to win. And that's like I told Ty yesterday. We've got one person, that winning's more important.
Wins, the kids lose, though. That's where everybody gets messed up. When you're fighting to win, then everybody loses. So,
especially the kids.
Yeah.
So it's been a hard things to think about, and trying to, but I think, it helped just opening that door to say, listen, I still care about you. You still need me to pick up the phone and call, If you need a babysitter, hey, it's Mama always, wherever I got to go, travel, whatever, I'll do it, you know. So, you know, just to leave that door open to say, I don't hate you. I don't want to fight with you. I don't, let's do what we can do for these babies was
Redirect. Yeah.
was all my intentions
Correct
with
course.
any of it. Yeah.
Correct course. Not too
Tyler,
late
I've
to straighten
emailed
things
the
out.
song from Simi.
Yeah, I seen that come up in the comments. I missed it though. I didn't get to hear it.
I've emailed,
Well, okay.
I've emailed it to you.
Oh, is
I've
that what's
also-
in the other email? I didn't open it yet.
I've also sent you some info on the Kentucky family court and stuff, the roles of the guardian ad litem,
cool.
all the processes, the forms, links to all sorts of stuff. So
I
And
saw
yeah,
that.
you know,
I missed it.
there's been a lot of mistakes, but I had to say, like I bragged on Ashley when she done that interview that day with Scarlett, that was, I mean, if I could have hugged her, I'd have gave her a hug that day,
That's
so
right.
there is some of them making steps that are, moving forward and doing things that should be done. I mean, the way it should be, And so, I'm trying to recognize them as they do that, like, hey, thank you, that I appreciate that. You're not all of you are turds. Some of you are, but not all of you are,
Right.
so,
Right.
so.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
so
a metal
if you ever
phone?
need anything like that, I've bought this database that is a legal database. It's what all the paralegals use in court so that they can download the transcript of like the court session and then analyze it to say, all right, what did she say last time? And bring that straight up in court. Do you know what I mean? That's how the lawyers can go, oh, isn't it true that you said this, and quote it directly. So I've got access to one of those, and I just put in what county for the legal stuff and what it has to do. And I've got it all at my fingertips. So if you want anything like that, just ask me because I've got it all.
I sat down hand by hand and read every single note, every single motion, and if it was a lie, I draw the line. I wrote what it was, then I went over and got the thing that matched to it that proved it was a lie. And I just put it all together. So I've been doing that for 6 months. So
if you've got anything in writing that you can photo and send, if you've got a PDF, if you've got a video or anything like that, I can upload onto this database, get the transcript of it, and then put it against, and like say to it, okay, make a list of all of the things that violate this order.
Oh
my gosh.
So you can put in like my judgments and stuff.
I can put any bit of document you want, I can put in it, and I can have it all assessed, transcribed, you name it, done.
Yes.
In a second.
That's
So
what I
don't
mean.
be
that's amazing.
I'm going to be busy this week, aren't I? No, that's the bit I love. That's the bit I love. And it honestly takes a second. It's got it all there. It's amazing. I've been using it for my my disability court shit going on for 5 years, and it's the only thing that's actually gotten. Because I've got a folder this thick. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I just uploaded it all and said, righto, where do I stand? What do I do? Pretty much.
I love your hat. I was just telling Brandy yesterday that I saw a meme or a video or something that was like some guy was being a troll, being a douchebag, patriarchy bred in the comments, and this girl was like, "Okay, listen, have you ever had to sit through a 9 to 5 with a yeast infection? You feel like your eyebrows are itching from the inside?" And he was like, "You don't get to bitch about PMS or about a woman's moods. Get over it."
That's going to be my thing. I think I've ordered a few funny hats and shit, and I'm getting some made up as well.
Oh yeah.
That's
I need to work on our merch store, and we've got the machines to make the stuff ourselves. And somebody ordered one of our good hoodies, and the rest of her order came in except for the hoodie. And I cannot get the company to respond. They responded the first time and said, "Okay, we will go ahead and we'll get it. We'll fulfill it. Sorry about it." And then here it's been another month and still no sign of it, and it still says it's not even been shipped. So I told Brandy the other day we're going to have to pull out the machine. So I went out there yesterday and showed Dusto which furniture I need him to bring in so I can pick them up.
Oh, we got him some
When you
big
get something,
plans.
you gotta do it yourself, I guess, or it's not going to be done the way you want it to be.
Yeah, well,
So,
Tanya made
that
a
keeps
mistake
coming up, don't it, Brandy?
Yeah.
That
Our
old saying.
plans just keep getting bigger and expanding out this way, and then we'll say, well, we
This
he don't
way.
need that over there. We'll just take that.
Tan made the mistake of telling me she had one of those machines, so she's going to be busy this week too.
I'm getting, as soon as this weather breaks, I'm going up here on this mountain. There used to be a cabin up here, and it had a dugout cellar. And the cabin's gone, but the cellar part is still there. So I'm going to go out there and dig it out. And me and Brandy's going to build us a little podcast studio and smoke shack she shed up there.
Yep.
And Dusto said he'd help us figure out a way to heat it. And we're going to put cozy furniture and stuff in it. So as soon as the weather breaks, I'm going to start clearing the land for that. And we're going to try to get some practice using our hands to build stuff ourselves.
Yep.
Good morning, Salty Sleeth.
Good morning, Salty. I ain't talked to you in forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been disconnected from everything, just about.
Yeah.
I'll be working in the background, so don't you worry.
Good.
You're welcome to join us if you want. The link's in the top, pinned at the top of chat. And I think Sarah was going to join at some point too. I've given her the details, but
She was up early this morning. That kind of surprised me.
one quick
Yes,
question:
you should.
are you able to discuss for Thursday or not?
I don't know where my kids at this morning. Remember them commercials at 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are at?
We start looking at ours in the mornings. It's 10 a.m. Where are they?
It's 10
They've not
a.m.
called and asked for anything. They've not called and asked nothing.
Can you talk about Thursday yet or not?
Is it there?
Can you talk about Thursday yet or not?
We did interviews. That's all I can say. I did a sit-down interview.
Cool.
And I don't know like when it'll air or like what else they're going to be doing or who all they're going to be talking to or what. But it was with Court TV, and it's, like I did the one with Vinnie Politan on Zoom, but this time they came out, and I went with a friend and stayed, and they came out and sat down with us for a few hours, and we got to cover a lot of ground that I haven't got to cover yet, like on the national stage. So I'm looking forward to it coming out. I think it went well. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we got to share about some of the other like missing people and stuff that need to be looked at. So that felt good to be able to, actually tell somebody that might be able to find us help or help us find the right people.
How many missing people are there?
Yeah. So
how many
so we're looking forward to that. It went really well, especially right after the court and stuff. I was feeling good about it going in. So
do you think that impacted anything that occurred in yours and Brandy's court dealings last week at all?
No, I don't think so. We didn't make it public that we were going to do it, that I was doing it. Because, we don't like to disclose everything right when it happens because people have a way of sabotaging things around here.
Yep.
So, and people we don't want to put nobody in danger and, things like that. So, it's
so we keep it close, close to the vest.
But hopefully it will in future.
How many people are actually missing
when it comes out? My list right now, I have got 43 women and 39 or 40 men. And now some of those are murders that we know that they've been killed, or they're just, some are unsolved.
Suspicious death.
Either unsolved, or the wrong person is in jail, and we've got like proof of who actually did it, like it's out there. The proof is out there. I don't have it, but I know where, I know that it's there. And people have told the authorities and told them about some of these cases that they've got people, sitting in jail for right now, and nobody wants to fool with it. They said that they didn't want to press charges. There was one girl that has been trying to get help. Somebody stole 2 of her vehicles and had them crushed at the junkyard, and then attacked her and brutally, like it broke her arm in multiple places. It's really bad. She had to have surgery and everything. When she went to press charges, Matt Butler told her that, oh, well, he's an addict, and just putting a felony on him will just make his life harder. I'm not going to do that to him. But he don't care to give us 15, 20 years.
Sure.
The girls who are trying to speak out and stuff, or who have been trying to speak out. He's handed out 20-year sentences like it ain't nothing to them.
Fuck.
But declined to prosecute that one. So I got to share that. And hopefully
So these are all related
put
to
them on the right track of some more people that they need to talk to, that, that shows that this ain't just about the sex. This ain't got nothing to do with the sex. We got a bigger problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what people don't realize.
Right.
How far stretched it is.
Like so many people just want the salacious story, the scandal, because it's shocking and it gets people's attention. And which is, I understand, like I get it, but like you can't get too focused on that or you're going to miss everything.
That's the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. That's what they want. They want everybody to focus on the sex so that you're
Yes,
not looking at how many people they've killed.
So all those missing people are related somehow to this case with Judge
Some we
Mullins.
know for sure are. Others we don't know. And then there's a lot that I don't know what the connections are yet that I haven't even started looking into yet. Like we've only dug into a couple out of the list because and it's so much when you talk to these people's families, many of them know who killed their loved ones.
Yeah.
But the cops don't care. Nobody investigates.
Nobody will listen to what they're telling them or look at their evidence.
Or that they don't have a forensics unit, or they don't have this, or they don't have that. They don't have dogs to use to come out and find their bodies. Well, how is it that we've got volunteer groups that have dogs that are willing to come and do it for free, but the Kentucky State Police can't bring a fucking cadaver dog in these mountains?
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
What? There's people coming from all over the world to help us.
Yep.
But not one person here wants to take us seriously.
And why is that?
Y'all, our community really needs to take a look at that. Take a long, hard look at how difficult it's been for us to get help. And how, once it finally got here, how many people tried to turn you against the people who were trying to help.
And that's why no one's coming
Violence,
forward.
so many.
What's wrong with this world. That's what's wrong with it here, is so many people are so docile. All you want to do is stare at your phones or live in your own world, which is fine. Stay in your lane. I get it. That's how you keep your peace. That's how you keep your mental health. Everybody should do that. But there comes a point that you've got to speak up for people. You've got to stop harming people. And by staying silent and turning your head and pretending it doesn't happen, then all that's doing is enabling the abusers to continue the abuse.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's frustrating, but I feel like people are learning, people are waking up and starting to see it more comprehensively and not.
Well, that's one of the biggest battles you've got with people not wanting to come forward because of the retribution and
the
everything.
Retribution. The retaliation is fierce.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And even being ostracized in the community.
Yeah.
The whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned someone last week. Was it Patrick Little? Is he currently incarcerated?
No. No, he's not incarcerated. He's on home incarceration. Home incarceration.
Okay. Is he relevant to this? Because I've wrote it down for a reason and I can't remember for the life of me why.
Him and Mr. Mullins or Kevin Mullins, Honorable Mullins, however you say it. They were, I reckon, high school buddies. They grew up together. Matt Butler was also Patrick Little's attorney at the time when this was going on. But he had like 42 counts of sexual abuse against a child under the age of, one was 12 and one was 14. And those were dropped to 21 charges. And he was recommended that his sentence or whatever was 5 years of home incarceration. That was it.
Really? Matt Butler's the district attorney, isn't he?
Hey, what now?
Is Matt Butler the district attorney?
Matt Butler was his attorney during that case, but I think when there was something, I think it was even after the plea deal or something, he lodged formal paperwork saying that he was no longer his attorney, but I think the case at that time had already been took care of anyway. Yeah. I just think he didn't want it on his image running for office, I guess, so maybe.
He's in the Commonwealth District Attorney's Office, isn't he? For Letcher County? Is that?
What is it?
Butler?
Yeah. Yeah. What is Butler?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the other, Jamie Hatton, he's the
county attorney.
Yes, he's the one that you get to vote in, but you only get one option to vote because he's the only one on the ballot.
Yeah, he's the only one running. So
yeah, that needs to be like fucking looked at too, because they're basically electing themselves, and they're.
Well, you know, you got a lot of the families that tie in with, you know, you've got Jamie Hatton's our county attorney, and his sister at one time was our state representative, and they've got a brother that's a doctor that works at Mount Comp, you know, with Dr. Breeding and all that. I'm not saying like, I just say they work at the same place. So, but you know, you've got all these, like I said, there's all these connections that just kind of
higher office positions, and so they regulate themselves.
And so it all kind of, you know, I guess it takes care of itself. Yeah, or the family takes care of itself, you know.
They've got themselves really well set up, really well insulated, and it just continues to feed and line their pockets. It's a very well organized system. I mean, it's taken them at least 20 years.
A while. A while. It's been a while.
Yeah. It's disgraceful. It's really disgraceful, Salty. It's what they've done and how they've oppressed these women as well. And the threat out there is real. Like, it's fucking real. And it's disgusting.
That Patrick Little. Hang on just a second.
I did actually, yeah. I had him down as to do a deep dive and never got around to it. I did start looking up Ashley Sturgill. I got as far as her Facebook page, but that's about
she's it. Like I said, she's the guardian ad litem in her case. And like I said, I was impressed with her that day. If I could have gave her a hug, I'd have gave her a hug. But you know, I know they have to be impartial too. I mean, you know, but you know, we've been sitting there for 18 months feeling like we're just spinning nowhere, which I mean, we didn't get our visits back, and there was a lot of bad, but there was some positive, I think, come out of it too. So, you know, it's going to be all right.
It will. Absolutely. But it's just a shame that, you know, it took 18 months to get to start.
Get there.
Yeah. It's fucking bullshit. I don't get it. Did you find anything, Ty?
Yeah, I sent myself. I wanted to search it here on the Mountain Eagle though, because I'm not positive if it's the Patrick Little, but
he owns the crap. He sells the buildings. It's right there by the high school. He got a bunch of his buildings were vandalized here not very long ago.
Oh, so he owns a lot of property in the county.
He has a business. I think he at one time maybe done some music classes or something, but he owns a like those like Amish buildings or outdoor buildings you can rent, those rental places like that. Buildings like that. He owns a place like that. And I think he had some vandalism and some things went on with his business, different things, when his charges came out. Because, I mean, there's a lot of families that, it was a violent crime. You cannot give someone house arrest for violent crime.
And is his house arrest limited to children and stuff under the age of 16? Like, what are the conditions of that?
I have no idea. I've really not looked into his conditions. I don't know. I know he's still allowed to have the business that's very, very close to the high school. But I don't know.
right across the road from it.
Right across the road from it. So, it kind of, a lot of things got looked the other way, for a charge like that. But then you have somebody that, failure to appear here, failure to appear there, traffic violation, bad check, 3 years, So the unfairness is just kind of, it kind of goes back to like, who you know.
Does anyone
Okay, I sent
anyone have any
you
questions for these
just
lovely
two little
ladies?
screenshots there. I put them on here.
Oh, yes, I see them.
I added a couple of screenshots here,
Yep.
and I was going to tell you about this guy. So, the next one. This man went out and protested and pushed it. And then he is also the one that was trying to help Lexi to file her charges and like collect her evidence and do all these things. And he has been facing severe retaliation for years now because of it as well. And he was attacked on Main Street. He's disabled. He was threatened by some of the lawyers in town, and we did an interview with him, but he's also going to be interviewing with some other people. But he has started to drop some of his stuff about how they've retaliated against him on Facebook. So that I'm thinking that was over Patrick Little, this protest, but I'm not positive.
Yes.
It was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
me and him, that's what me and him was talking about, how unfair that,
Yeah.
people sat in there and then, you've got somebody like that never served, 42 counts and, it got dropped to 21, and even at 21 counts, there should have been something more than that. But that,
Right.
those are considered violent crimes, and you cannot. Not that from the laws that I read, can they do that, or would they? They had to have some kind of special waiver or circumstances, I guess, to
get
even
him
to be able to do that.
I'm just trying to bring this up and I can't find it.
And anybody that protests, they try to make you think, oh, they're crazy. No, listen to them.
Yep.
Listen to them, because somebody has trusted them and told them something, or they've seen it with their own eyes.
Absolutely. What was the search that you put in for that one, Ty, so I can find it?
That is a screenshot that is a picture off of his Facebook. I have
Okay.
got some pictures and stuff. I've got the video of whatever he was attacked, and his he didn't get the part of the man hitting him, but he did get to record the conversation with the cop after it happened.
Yeah.
And he interviewed the officer on camera to make sure that it got documented, and that what really happened didn't get lost. So that's on there. That's on his Facebook and stuff. I will hook you up. I will fix you right up with it. I'd like to introduce you to him too. He is a wealth of knowledge. He is a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
Welcome, Salty. You're muted.
Yeah, he used to hang out with some of these guys back in the old days, like before they got so.
Hey, me and him's the same age. We're not too old.
I mean, like back whenever they were all young and like really first started to get amped up. You know what I'm saying? Like before they started hurting people, when it was still about fun and partying and this, that, and the other. Like over the years, as their morals deteriorated, he separated from them, and
it went bad.
And then we started to really see what was happening, and so when Lexi confided in him, like he was like, "That's it. We can't do this. We can't let this go on. You need to do this." And he was trying to help her, trying to get her here so that she could. And
he was too late.
Yeah. It didn't. They got to her first.
Yeah.
So.
How old was she?
She's same age as Caleb, so she'd be 33 right now. So, and this happened 3 years, 30. So
3 years
when she was 30.
2022 is when she died.
Yeah. So she died when she was 30.
Yeah.
But had lived a long 30.
She lived multiple
that
lifetimes
baby.
in 30 years.
Yep.
Good morning, Salty.
Good morning. I had to jump out and come back. I had too many things open as usual. That's just me. Good morning, Brandy and Tya. It's been a minute.
Good morning. I'm going to light my heat in here real quick before it gets colder while you're introduced.
Lord, I'm in Florida. I can only imagine. I'm freezing. I can only imagine how the rest of you are feeling. Ooh.
It was 6 when I got up just a little while ago. I'm sitting here in a coat, heat pump running. I'm still cold, so
I would still be in the bed, just bundled up, like heating pad, everything. I'm a Florida girl. I can't do this cold weather, but it's good to see you guys again. And I came in late, and I know that, but I know I heard you guys talking about Court TV coming in, doing some interviews, and that I'm so looking forward to that. But it's hard to watch that stuff on mainstream media, knowing what we know behind, what we all know on YouTube. So it's always curious to see how they cover it and present it, right? So I'm looking forward to seeing how they approach that and that the outcome of that. But when I was looking at the Mountain Eagle, looking up this Patrick Little, I was able to read that very first article, and then all of a sudden it's telling me now I got to pay, and I'm not paying them to read their garbage. But I found another article from another, I guess it's a local affiliate there, K105.com. And I can drop this in the chat, but it's not much. It just says, 51-year-old Patrick Little, 21 counts, first degree SA, victims under age 12, 20 counts of first degree unlawful transaction with a minor.
Unlawful transaction?
Right. Yeah, unlawful transaction.
Unlawful.
Fucking hell.
I mean,
Don't you love how that's labeled?
Yes, that's insane. And it says that he was released on a $100,000 cash bond. The MountainEagle.com reports that Little owns and operates a music store and a rent-to-own storage building business in Armene, town of fewer than 700 people in Letcher County. So, I mean, what's going on there? Is the town okay and cool with that? Who's
not people like us?
Right, across a bunch of his buildings when it first happened.
Well,
Yeah,
The buildings that he, like where it sits right beside the main road, somebody took black spray paint and wrote pedophile on everything.
good, because what about the victims here? These are children.
Nobody gives a
well,
shit about the victims here.
Right.
one of the when the story first came out, some of the charges that were removed, someone said involved incest.
Mm.
So,
It's family members.
right.
Well, who's protecting those children or that child? You know, I mean,
The mother, they said they interviewed the mother and they were not given any consideration. They were not given any, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're thinking about doing. It wasn't even discussed with the families, the victims' families.
No
It was
victim
not
advocate
discussed.
or anything in the room probably when they made these decisions.
yeah, a lot of things aren't discussed with families when it comes to plea bargains and things like that. But
Well, especially like that one, you know.
even if their mothers can't protect them, the town. I'm sorry, they're minors, and this man is accused of 20 counts. Who cares about those children he did this to? Whose children were they? If they had been the judge's child, would it have made a difference?
Big one.
Is that where the line would have been drawn? Oh, wait, now you're coming at my child. But they can come into y'all's lives, disrupt it, and take your kids over. You don't got enough food in the refrigerator today, but we're going to take your kids for that. But this guy gets away with all of this.
Yeah.
That's okay for those kids to endure, but you don't got enough bread in the cabinet today, so we're going to take the babies. That's ridiculous.
Right.
Completely ridiculous to me. I just,
And you know, and with situations with him, like, you know, we were saying too, the people that, you know, that are friends and family members of ours that serve sentences, I'm talking sentences, like years in that county jail for nowhere near crimes like that. And, you know, how is it fair in your community when, you know, you have this scale of, you know, there's no justice at all.
There's no justice. There's no safety.
There's no fairness.
Use Patrick Little as an example. That's just one. Look how many people we have that are registered. Look how many family members those people have. I bet anybody that goes in here and looks at that registry, you'll know at least a few of them, be close to a couple of them, or had been at one time.
Really?
Or you know that their family members are just as bad as them and have never been convicted.
yeah.
And are not even on the list. And then whenever they do this with people like Patrick Little, it makes you terrified.
Oh, it should.
To not have your eyes on your kids at all.
Yeah. Defense rest. I don't mean. I think I don't mean to be rude. Thank you for having me up. You came into my chat the other day, and we were having. She came in when I was doing a show with you on the case here, so she's been doing shows about it as well. But I wasn't aware of her. I don't think she was really aware of me, that we were both out here talking about the case like this, outside of, you know, just because we all know about Elizabeth at Hillbilly Crime, but there's not a lot of outside of that, right? And we've been covering it on my channel since it happened.
That's why I wanted to link up with you.
Yeah,
as Sophie had us on a couple of times, and she came on for us a couple of times. When Brandy was just saying the other day, we needed to schedule or reach out to you and see if we could schedule you, get you on the books now that we're trying to get our schedule together. We actually have a schedule we're going to try to stick to.
Absolutely. Good luck with that, because
good luck with that, right?
I live on a schedule, but clocks and calendars are not my friend. So I'm just
Me either.
I just go.
No concept of it. Like,
yeah, it's a PTSD thing with me. I could care less about what that clock and calendar are telling me I have to go do. Yeah. You're not the boss of me. Right. Sit down.
Right.
Everybody kind of knows that about me on my channel. We do. I try to keep it, you know, Monday through Friday. We do the daytime thing, and we do in the evenings. But you know, schedules are schedules. They're meant to be broken. Don't set yourself up to like, oh my God,
our lives are utter chaos.
You know?
A lot of the times.
Well,
So
Yeah.
we just have to
life
go
is
with
chaotic.
what life
Yeah,
throws at us. We're good
right.
at tucking and rolling and dodging. And
Right. I mean, life is chaotic and
yeah,
things get that way. And that's the conversations that are being had. That's important. The key, like you said, outside of the drama of it all, the
Yeah.
sensationalism of it all, people need to really step away from all that. And in true crime, it is so hard to get away from all the drama and then sensation.
yeah.
I'm not looking for
That's
that.
half of our job, Salty, to keep them honest and to correct them. Do you know what I mean? To actually make sure that the
Yeah.
correct information gets out there.
Right. And when we are on my show, I always try, we're discussing facts out of a document or we're discussing a
Correct.
theory
Yep.
based on
Yep.
whatever. And we always
There he is.
package it like
There
that.
he is.
Yeah, that's the guy. He's like real winner looking there, isn't he? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a catch.
so how long had he been doing this in the town? Apparently, he's right there with the rest of the dirty old men in the town.
Him and Kevin Mullins were best friends in high school. They grew up together. So
Oh, but that's not
um,
surprising, is it?
no, and he played music at a lot of festivals. He kind of thought of himself maybe like a ladies' man, I guess, maybe at one time or another. But he played music with a band, and he gave music lessons, which is kind of
All right.
He had
Well,
access to young kids.
yeah.
sit down, music man, because some of us who grew up on country music and some of us who absolutely know music will save your soul, sit down with your BS. I can't. I don't want to hear anything you ever put out. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Evil.
no, he is.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
because-
also a way too, though. If you, so did he like own? Was it a music store or something? So, a lot of times pedophiles will put themselves in positions where they're around children,
Mm-hmm.
where
Yeah,
kids receiving
Well-
music lessons, where things like that. I mean, my mind can go 1,000 places.
right. And like we said, his business is directly across from the high school. I mean, it's like right there.
Mm,
The high school right there. So
that's just way too much access, and if kids
Yeah.
are not, like with one of the stories that was shared with, go see the judge, honey. It'll be taken care of, that kind of thing. The mentality, when you're raised up around all that kind of stuff and you're taught that that's the way it is around here, who's going to speak out in the end? You know what I mean?
Yes.
And
Right.
Are they only targeting kids they feel are at high risk, or the parents are at high risk? And that way, no one's going to believe them when they come out. Because you wouldn't take the Sunday school teacher's kid and do
They
something.
take both.
Funny you said that, Brandy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do tell.
Yep.
Well, we've been bouncing that theory around too, that like a lot of the kids that was chosen for the juvenile drug court program and things like that were chosen because of their parents and because their lack of power and the way it would give them a power move over that said parents.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't say what that reason is, but
They had-
everybody had something in common.
Yeah, every parent had something in common other than being poor and having a hard time. And it was something that kept total control of us. Total control with our children.
Yeah.
So-
It's like a targeted thing, though. Like they know.
They knew.
They target the vulnerable, right? Because
Yep.
we don't need to go after, the judge's wife and the attorneys and all their families. You know what I mean? The higher ups.
You're right.
Right. They're
Right.
going to go for the vulnerables.
All the
we
people
saw
that are a
that
threat
with,
to them.
yeah, exactly. And you have more control in those situations. Look at the Rex Hurman. All his victims were sex workers because he didn't think nobody would care or look for them or be bothered
Right.
to wonder what happened to that girl that we used to hang out with on the corner, whatever, So they target individuals for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable. I don't care where you're from. I just moved back to town, but where I just moved from, 15 miles outside of town, my little town was smaller than Letcher County, Kentucky. So I know the inner workings of small towns. I know how things can get swept under the rug. It should never happen, though. Adults shouldn't be turning blind eyes to what could be happening to young girls in their town.
Right.
That makes
That's
it
what
feel
I
like
said.
the
I
whole
never.
town is like encompassed it and just embraced it. And they're like, whatever, you know. How many women in that town know for a fact their husbands were a part of it?
Right.
Well, they're targeting Tya's daughter now too.
Yeah. Which you would think with all the eyes that are
And
actually
they have since she was underage. They have been, the cops used to sit outside of her house when she was just 16 years old, watching
And
who's
that
coming
was
and
my
going,
oldest.
pulling her over, picking at her, searching her car for no reason. They pulled her over once, said because her view was obstructed. There wasn't nothing in the windows. And I mean, her back seat had like bags of clothes and stuff in it, but it was a clear shot to the window. And what about all these fucking vehicles that don't even have windows? What do you
Girl,
mean? You got to
I'm
pull
right
my
there.
17-year-old over, pull her out of the car in the middle of the night, search her,
Yeah,
and take her to jail.
it's like they did it on purpose. It was targeted.
Yeah, they absolutely did it on purpose.
You got nothing else to do but ride around and look someone else all over and harass tonight, you know.
Yeah,
And if I
their
told you
obsession with her
this-
was
right.
And they knew our kids. They knew our kids was, you know, they had nothing to do, nowhere to go, no money. I mean, you know, so of course
almost
they were
the
just going to
parent
be.
was locked up somewhere. You know, whether it be in a psych ward, a mental rehab, or a jail, they already done separated
Already
and
had-
replaced everybody. So our kids don't have anybody out there to protect them.
Didn't they charge her for a DUI and kept her for 2 weeks and she wasn't?
No,
even
they
fucking-
tried to. He said that I asked him to give her a sobriety test and a drug test, and he refused and said I was lucky I didn't charge him, that he don't charge her and her husband both with the DUI, and they wasn't even in a car.
Wasn't in a car.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
And then they did get their parked car anyway, busted the headlights out of it and towed it in. And then we had to pay cash to get it out of the tow yard. And then whenever they arrested her again 2 weeks later, because Letcher County issued a warrant over
Yeah.
a charge that false arrest in Pike County, they arrested her in Floyd County. Her parole officer was supposed to have told her, her probation officer was supposed to have told her she had court, that they put that warrant on her. And he didn't. And he even said that. He was like, this is my fault.
No.
And like, no, actually, it's Letcher County's fault for sticking their nose in it. They shouldn't have never issued a warrant. They don't need to issue a warrant.
She had
Put a bench
transferred.
warrant on her for a status hearing over a charge that she's not even been to court for yet.
My biggest, it's not.
And
it's-
yeah, she stayed for 2 weeks, and it cost $500 to get her out. So we're up to about $1,000 now altogether in the last what's it been, a month and a half, Brandy?
Month and a half.
to the system, because they keep kidnapping my kid,
Is there
holding her
been
for
any
ransom.
rumbling-
She ain't done no crimes. She ain't committed no crimes.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And that's exactly what it is. They just snatch you off the street. And, I mean, they don't give a shit about none of us.
Well, at this point, you know, with a couple of the media's mainstream media that has done a couple of shows here and all the talk, you would think that at some point the feds have to be looking at Letcher County, Kentucky, because this is going to be going more than just accusations. You did this in the judge's chambers to get away with some ankle monitor BS. When are
well,
they?
we know they're here. We know they're looking. We know
That
they're
was my-
watching. They're asking questions now, and
Right. That's what I
which
was
is so
wondering
much
about.
better than not having anybody.
Right. I had heard
But
they
it still
were
makes
there.
you wonder and worry, because
Yeah.
in our experience, there has been many federal officers around here that do not do the right thing.
Well, I
They're
don't
just as
trust-
much part of the problem.
Well,
And
I
so
agree.
our faith isn't that great in the system as a whole, even on
Well,
that
I don't
level.
have any faith in Kentucky State Police at this point. Not just
No,
when you're-
none in the Kentucky State Police. I do got more faith in the feds than I do
Well,
the
there-
Kentucky
I mean,
State Police.
they-
But around
just-
here, that's what I'm saying. If the officers don't come from away from here, if there's somebody that's been here for a while, they're already corrupted.
Well, it took way too long to get arrested in Crystal Rogers' case out of Kentucky, and her brother-in-law or was a cop, There's like issues in Kentucky, like in Indiana, I'll say that, with getting information and getting things looked into, even putting trials and hearings on TV and of that nature, the darkness, we don't like it, bring it to the light. But I'd heard rumblings about, they're knocking on doors, they're asking questions. Well, who? And I don't think it's a good idea to go talking about it if you know anything publicly yet. But if they're there and they are asking, they should be. And if they're not, where the hell are you and why are you not at this point?
Right.
Investigating these allegations of corruption, right? With taking children out of homes and this ARC program, all these things, all of it needs to be looked into. Like in the Karen Reed case, the feds come in hot and gonna save the day. Well, we see how that turned out. So let's get them involved.
Yeah. And it does worry me because
they asked Leah the other day at the food stamp office if she was getting a check for child support.
What?
She said, nope. Never had.
Never have, no.
Yeah, and she said my guardian got one until I was 18, and whenever I turned 18, it stopped. And I've never seen none of it. And she had everything she needed and stuff. But
so with that said,
like as far as getting a check, like for the last few years since she turned 18, now she's 22, and I'm still paying the full amount on it every month. Like she went in for her food stamp appointment, and they added a few questions
Did
to
I
her
hear you
interview.
right?
So I don't know if that means that somebody's poking around, somebody's asking them. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like.
Right.
It seems like somebody's been poking around because, like, with my experience at the parole office and stuff lately, has been very positive. And
oh wow,
yeah,
good.
Yeah, so somebody's looking. Somebody's letting them know that they're being watched.
Right. They need to be nervous, and they should be at this point. Especially if there are people who, we've heard there's a video floating around that Sabrina says she saw the judge doing this on a video. And where are these, where are all these people with with the information?
Many of them are in jail.
Yeah, and they're not. And if they do talk, they're going to implicate themselves, right?
Yeah.
Well,
and some of them, that's the reason they're in jail.
Yeah.
Lexi took that to the sheriff's department.
But it's okay. Like, it'll all come to the light. I'm confident in that.
That's what Lexi took to the sheriff's department, that video.
Yeah.
I'm confident in God's plan.
Did I hear you rightly before?
So who got the video, though?
Do what?
Child support?
We don't know who's got them right now. Like, it's been hidden, and from what I understand, there's multiple copies of some of it, like what Lexi did, what Lexi had.
Do you want
She talked to multiple people. She sent multiple people copies, and she backed them up somewhere. So we're trying to track down the information to maybe access those old accounts, or find one of her old phones, or find one of these people, if we can get somebody out of jail to help us, that knows what the hell's going on. Then
yeah, because Sabrina said she saw.
You can't just call a jail and be like, yeah, you can go pick them up at this address. You know what I'm saying?
No, but it should be. If here's the thing about it, though, if she took it to the jail or took it to an investigator or whatever, it should have been entered into evidence. Doubt that it was. It was probably like, oh, well, we can't, that's my buddy right there. I can't let this ever be seen. Where did it go from there?
Or like if you go by the Matt Easter interviews, like to everybody that he's talking to about it, oh, well, this is just a rumor.
Well,
like that's his attitude about it.
His attitude about it was
really do nothing wrong, Ben. Like, I know you didn't really do nothing wrong. You didn't rape that girl.
There was videos that disappeared.
Yeah,
that were seen.
Evidence disappears.
Well, it was taken to the investigators in Letcher County. Of course, it's going to disappear. If we got a bunch of corruption happening, and that's my buddy on that video, we got to make
people have learned to be much more careful about it. And
I would have from the get-go.
You know what I mean? And people are terrified right now too. Like, they have been absolutely terrified. So even some of the people that we we figured would be right at the top of the list, ready to, you know, do their part and stuff. Like they've even got scared and had to take a step back. And so
And it's understandable.
Slowing us down a little bit.
It's to me,
Not
it's not.
permanently.
No,
It'll come
I don't
out.
know what.
It'll
but
come
at
out.
this
There's
point,
too much of it, and it's distributed too widely.
there's nothing
know?
to be scared of anymore, because unless you're going to
Right,
implicate
like that shit's
yourself.
over. We're done.
It's
We're done
exactly.
with that. There's too
And
many
who are-
people watching now. It's
I'm
safe.
going to start asking who
Yeah.
you're scared of. Yourself, the person in the mirror, because I'm scared doesn't cut it anymore. This is 2025.
Yeah.
I'm scared doesn't
No.
cut it anymore. I did a
Yeah.
show last night.
Living
on
in the
Vincent
fear of it
Crandell
doesn't
Bell.
solve anything.
Yeah, it's been over 24 years since this child disappeared. It's time for people to stop being scared.
Yes,
You know,
exactly.
so
Doesn't mean
I don't.
there's not there. I mean, 3 weeks ago, you know,
Well, people should feel empowered and not afraid.
Right.
Especially
Now
right
is definitely the time for
Absolutely.
empowerment.
Yeah, and now's the time to band together and have more. Even and I don't. There's a lot of people out here who support. We know y'all. Even you, Tya, have come out and said, "I didn't live the best life. I didn't do things right," and we appreciate that. But that doesn't hold any judgment
no.
for what happened to you,
Right.
right? It
It
shouldn't.
doesn't
shouldn't.
negate what they did.
Right.
Right.
It's circumstances
Yeah.
that lead up to
Yeah.
all of
Even
Anyone that does that,
And then you got to get into the psychology of it all too. Reactive abuse.
Even at
abuse,
times
that's
worse.
what happens whenever a person's traumatized and stuff to a certain level. Like,
Even at times worse though, she was always my best friend. I could always count on her, no matter. We was in some trenches together, and it did not matter.
front lines all the fucking way.
I can
That
tell
was
you right
it.
now, if I would want Tya in my corner too. We could probably wreak some havoc on the town. We'd
Absolutely.
we'd probably burn it
Absolutely.
down by the end of the night. But oh well,
Right. But oh well. Carry the
Um,
fire.
I mean, sometimes you just have to step out of that comfort zone, like you've
Yeah.
been able to come out and do, right, and put yourself out there and be
Yeah.
the voice.
that
That first step is the hardest.
Oh,
You
I
do that
imagine.
first step, you're going to get some trolls, you're going to get some negators, you're going to get some enablers, some abusers who want to abuse more in your comments and stuff. But you can't pay attention to that. Just look at the positive ones. Look at the victims that are going to respond to you.
Exactly.
Your inboxes will blow up with people saying, "Thank you for doing what I have wanted to do my entire life."
fucking oath.
So
because
that,
you're making
I
them
mean,
feel
when
like
you see
I'm
the
not alone.
impact,
Yeah.
like you're not alone. You are not alone.
No, not at all.
It's not just victims from around here. I mean, this is people around the world
Yeah.
who have been dealing with this exact same thing. You know,
Then that's the
like
thing.
our entire world is messed up right now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not just Letcher County that deals with this type
Right.
of stuff,
Right.
unfortunately.
We're not, it's not an isolated thing.
No,
And
it's not.
people need support and need community everywhere, you know?
And when you got this kind of level, what appears to be this level of corruption in your town, you don't know where to go, who's gonna treat you fair and keep you safe, and especially if you already know, well, I can't trust the
hard to trust.
judge, right? I can't trust that attorney over there.
Yep.
You can't, even if the sheriff knew things was happening. He's not speaking up until, when he did. There's this, where do you go and what do you do? Who do you trust? And I can imagine how you guys felt for decades,
Well,
just at their mercy.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Well, there's still days that we think about things that I don't even think we thought was even abuse. And then me and Ty will be talking about something, and the next thing you know, we're both just blubbering and
Yeah.
crying.
Like, we're
Like,
still learning
why did we let
about-
them do that to us? Why did we let them do that to us? And
Yeah.
there's no reason other than we just thought that's just how it is. It's just,
Yeah. That questioning yourselves is just part of the process, right? I think everybody does that. People who are in touch will go back and say, could I done things? But you're going to question that, but no, you did the best you could and you've moved through it. And now you're able to speak your truth about what really happened and the way it develops. Like you said, Taya, you get these young girls roped into the system and you never let them out, and then you got control. You're
That
18
is
years
yeah,
old,
that's a
you're now in
slate,
jail, you're in
plain
mine,
and simple.
it's crazy. It's very much grooming.
Yeah.
And they learned it, they perfected the art of it in this town.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, I mean, you got apartments and houses set up with dancing girls and swings and poker parties happening. They were your own little pleasures,
Yeah.
and that's disgusting. And I think dirty old men like that should absolutely be held accountable, because there's little girls growing up in this world right now that these guys are waiting on to come out. And
That's why I said I do not want my granddaughter ever to have to walk in that courthouse and ever have to worry about, somebody saying, "Oh, she's pretty,"
Exactly.
and then here we go.
Well, we know that women can be subjectified. We've been putting up with it since the beginning of time, I think. And, and you would think that this day and age, that kind of thing, it would be over, but we know it's not. It is what it is. And I think it will go on to the end of time. There's always going to be that dirty old bastard somewhere in the crowd that we have to watch out for, whether it's your
But
little
we don't want a
girls.
community of dirty old bastard.
Yeah. I mean,
With control.
it's becoming, and also women, you go look at Instagram, I can't even tell if half these people are real or fake. I don't know, and you're just like, women are just, and young girls are seeing all of that, I gotta look a certain way, act a certain way, dress a certain, and then men are just like, let them do it. Let them show it all, because we get to look at it. And I don't think, and I wonder, these young girls, little girls, I see them out with their moms. I'm like, well, hey, honey, if you want to let it all out, let it all out, but go to the club to do it and leave the baby with the babysitter. I mean, I've had women tell me, my 15-year-old son got embarrassed at the beach today because I had a thong on. I'm like, honey, your son's 15, you're 40 something. It might be you're out, you know what I mean? But to blame you guys is ridiculous, and to say you chose that lifestyle, or you chose to be victims. You chose to try to survive.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And when they got you in their clutches, they made damn sure it was as hard as possible for you guys to survive outside of their clutches. And that's not acceptable.
Yeah. It's 100% truth.
Yeah. Do you have any idea, Tya, when they may air the Court TV piece?
I don't know. I need to message her and ask her. Like I said, there's still some more people that they're going to be talking to and stuff, so I'm not sure how they're going to go about it. I don't know if they're going to put them together or if it'll be like a series. I'm not sure.
It'll probably start after the
because it wasn't Vinny this time. It was someone else. It was another producer.
Right. I was there for a couple of days.
Yeah, they're probably there collecting all their interviews and stories to put the show together and produce it.
Yeah,
and
they're trying to show and highlight all the corruption from all these
right.
angles, people's experiences with it too. Yeah,
they're
expanding on it. Finally, we're gonna go a little deeper, so I'm excited.
A little deeper than
that.
Even deeper than what Brian Enton did, because that was surface, right? That was scratching.
I'm sure they'll be back too. They're still working
Brian's
on things, and
Brian's a busy man.
Allison,
he's a little everywhere these days.
She's been wonderful.
She's been such a support, such a rock for me.
An advocate,
so empowering. So she's a journalist and she was a lawyer, and she does spots on Ashley Banfield and with News Nation. And
Allison Weiner. I hope I said it right.
Yes.
Yeah, she's a really famous journalist over here. Yes. So,
is she on X? Because I think I follow her.
Probably.
She may be.
Just did a story, because she just did a story, or she released something last night about the area. I have to go back and look at it, but I think I'm.
Did she? Okay, I'll go in and look at it.
Really.
X makes my ADHD go bonkers.
Yeah.
Brain goes into overdrive. So I'm either deep in a tunnel of I cannot get back out of this app because the rabbit holes are so deep, or I'm
Oh, well,
overwhelmed and I can't get through 2 or 3.
I think with her though, what I like best about her was she took a personal interest in each one of us, and
As a
if
person, she saw
I
us as
had
a person,
something,
as a human being.
if I had something happen at 2 o'clock in the morning, you know, hey, and she's like, what the, yeah, what can I do? What can I, you know, and she's a girl's girl.
She's a
A
girl.
lady's lady, you know,
Yeah,
she's,
a woman's woman. That's
Yeah.
Are
that's
y'all
just it.
so
That's the kind of women leaders that we need around here for these girls to look up
are
to.
y'all
To look up
familiar
to.
with
Yeah.
are y'all familiar with an account called Smokahontas?
Yes.
that's a
She
girl.
I love her. She is another one of my best friends.
I
That's
love
our
that
girl.
account. Yeah,
Yes.
I follow her on Twitter as well.
Her
X, whatever it's
support
called.
has been amazing too. She is
Yes.
just wonderful.
Yeah,
She,
I was so glad that I found that account on X to
Yeah.
follow.
she's on Facebook and stuff too. Facebook just punished her and took away
Yes.
18,000 of her followers. So if
Wow.
anybody was following her, go over and refollow, because they demonetized her and over a post for speaking out for, you know, somebody to do the right thing, and it got flagged by a troll.
And when it comes to political knowledge, Nicole
She
knows
is
her stuff. She knows her
She knows all these politicians
everything.
because she's met many of them. She goes to all the events and everything. She covers it, writes articles about, you know, like what they're trying to do, and
Simi says
calls them out.
Wild West.
Yeah.
I think about Facebook that way. I mean, I'm old, so I bailed out of Facebook a long time ago. I only go there to snoop, right? I'm just there to snoop. Other than that, I'm not even going to try to make a comment. Y'all are weird. But so
it's like being in high school is what I tell Brandy all the time. Facebook stresses me out sometimes because
Like high school.
that platform.
And those are always the ones who are the meanest and who judge you the hardest and can't see past.
Well, there's a
They're
lot
unnoticed.
that gets
So-
slung around in Facebook groups. I've been in true crime too long, and there's a lot of groups out there about a lot of cases, and when you start, they're just rabbit holes that never ever end. Even on X, YouTube, I take where I get information from very seriously.
I like
Accounts I
Instagram.
follow.
They are not censoring people right now. Like, people are going ham with the conspiracy stuff, and they're on the money. It lines right up with like the factual evidence that you'll find on X and stuff too.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure
like,
there's
just
a lot of good
cross-reference.
information
Always
out there.
cross-reference, because you never know.
But when you start watching the comment sections of certain things, like YouTube streams or a thread on X or the comments in Facebook, you see a lot of things that may or may not be true. You know, even locally with cases here, I'm going to hear a lot and I'm going to read a lot, but I also know that I got to take each one of these people with a big old grain of salt. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's just a lot of getting the factual information out versus like rumor, you know. And of course, you talk about the rumors and you're going to have your theories based around what the things, but the facts are the facts. The facts appear that this has been going on for far too long. And I don't know what kind of evidence they can collect, or even it's going to take like an investigation coming in and taking depositions from people and getting their statements of what happened, you know, and going and tracking the child support payments and tracking the missing money. Where's it all going? And when you take a child, so you take a child from the custody of a parent and you place them into foster care. Now that foster parent's about to get money and benefits.
It's incentivized.
Also, you want me to go there? Is that a part of the scheme as well?
Yes, it is.
Exactly.
Yes.
And don't think that hasn't happened here in Florida, where foster parents were absolutely caught taking in as many kids as they could, all because of the money that came along with the child.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. That child is to be cared for, not your little meal ticket.
Well, CPS is incentivized they get bonuses.
Yeah.
Right. And we absolutely need foster parents. There's an absolute overwhelming necessity for that. But
good foster parents, good people
who want to do it for the right reason.
Yeah.
You know, when you get the call, the cops get the call in the middle of the night and they go to the house and mom and dad have been tortured to pieces and there's 2 little babies in the house, they need a place to go right then. We need good
Yeah.
people waiting to take those children in. But when people do it just for the money, they don't care about those kids at that point.
CPS are taking children from good homes as well. and
Yes.
Yeah.
places.
That would for no reason took them out of their home other than what? Like I said, they in their opinion, there might not have been enough food that day in the house. What's enough? If you got a loaf of bread and a pack of bologna, you got something to feed your kid.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just better than what I've seen a lot of people do. I've seen where they enter homes and what that home looks like with the garbage
Oh, yes.
and all the things, you know, it's horrible. It's just horrible. I hope that the right eyes come in, you know, and start conduct. I want to see real investigation at this point because it's a lot of, you know, we can talk about it all day long, but if the authorities aren't listening and paying attention and wanting to get to the bottom of it, then what the heck's the point?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
to educate the younger people of the town now, we don't do this. This is not acceptable, you know, because
Yeah, let's not continue
about
on
what's
to the
been
next
going on.
generation.
Yeah. Change it, uplift it from here on, you know, and like try to work with the people who are willing to work with us and
well, hopefully there won't be any more
show them a better
grandfathered
way. You know what I mean? Like whenever
Yeah.
you've been taught your whole life that you don't have rights, who's going to teach you? Like you don't know
Yeah.
that you have rights. You don't know that you're being abused. You don't know that you're being, you know, that all these
No.
things are happening, like, or that it's to the degree that it is because you're not educated about it.
Exactly.
And that's nothing to do with us. That's nothing to do with
No.
the people. It's not our fault. It's because that's what they taught us. That's what they have taught us to disregard or not even know that we even have rights and things. So that's part of, I guess, the biggest part of what me and Brandy try to do with our channel is educate. You know, we want to.
There's such a secrecy, an era of
Yes, knowledge
secrecy
is
in our
power.
town about everything. You know, we was raised, you don't talk about what happens at home. You don't talk about what happens in your family. You don't talk about what happens, you know, and so you're raised that way your whole life. So keeping a secret just becomes so normal that
You know, I don't know if that, because I'm in the South, right? And a lot of people, a lot of the older women, you know, from the South, that's what you did. You
Yeah.
didn't talk about what's happening outside of the home. We don't discuss that. If there's anything,
You cover the bruises. You
cover the bruises. You
cover the bruises.
hide
Fix your
the
makeup.
Yeah.
Put on a
that
smile
pretty
for the
little
world.
face, and you go out and bless everybody's hearts, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when you're living,
It's the same
you know,
here.
you just it all and there's and it's not just a Southern thing. I don't think there's so many people out there who do that. I got to present this polished, perfect life, and we're not going to talk about what happens at home and what happens outside the home too. You know,
Shame.
yeah, there's a lot of different factors that play into it. But
Yeah.
like you said, though, over time, you're just conditioned where we don't talk about things. So if nobody's really talking about it, you know, except maybe you got some girls sitting in the jail going, you know what, this happened to me. And he said I could get away with this if I came and did this. Wow, that happened to you too. I'm doing, you know, so and then they are starting to realize it's not just me, but then they know that who we gonna tell, you know, so it's just that vicious circle just continues and continues. And I hope now that it can stop because there's innocent little girls that are going to grow up in that town. When I lived over in Alabama, I knew I had to move, not because I didn't like it there, but the town was so tiny. It had one little old restaurant. I had a 15-year-old boy. And I'm like, whoa, wait, brakes on, no opportunities, nowhere for him to get a job,
Yeah.
nowhere for him to continue in education once he
Especially
graduates.
if I've got a record.
Right. I had to go right back across that state line and put him right back into, and you know, and then you worry when you get into the bigger areas, what kind of stuff's he going to get into? But you just got to take it for what it is. But when there's not a lot of opportunities in a small town, not a lot of jobs to be had or opportunities to continue your education, you can end up getting into a lot of trouble. Or what if the lifestyle is just go work, pay the bills, and then at the end of the day, do something recreational, whatever. Then it turns into more when your body becomes addicted. We all know how the addiction works for a lot of people, but it's just, I want the cycle to stop there, and
Yeah.
we should refocus and bring opportunities to the area instead of trying to suppress the area. It almost feels like, let's funnel all these opioids to the Appalachians, which if y'all go back and watch some old documentaries from 20 years ago, you'll see where it started and how. Then we funnel
Yeah.
all that in and
Yeah.
addict our town. Oh, wait, now we need to set up these ARC programs and make them pay to come get off what we just got them hooked on. Oh, wait, now they're
And the
hooked
benefits
to
of
take their
that.
babies. Now she can, she wants out of jail, but she can't afford the ankle monitor. Yeah, we see what happened.
And do you see
Yeah.
how that perpetuates now into a money-making scheme?
Exactly. The
Yeah.
defense
That's
rest.
exactly what it's done.
Yep.
I mean, because it's like a vicious cycle of
When
money
you've got
making
those
schemes.
people in those power positions and they have set up those processes to benefit directly from them, that's been
Yeah.
allowed to fester for 20 fucking years.
Exactly. And they learned, well, we got away with this, and hey, we can also do this, and hey, this, where's all that money going? They're all sitting at the house like fat cats, bills all paid. Mama done made me a big old supper. Mama, when I get done, I'm going down to my friend's house to play poker. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And how many women in that town said, okay, baby, we'll make it home safely tonight, knowing damn well what he's about to go leave that house and go do. I'm
I
sorry.
think actually at that time they used to have the police drive the officials back home. That was years ago when I was in school. Yeah.
They were probably too drunk to drive home, so we'll just drive them home. Oh my
We'll
God.
drive them home. Yeah.
Which is better than
So-
taking them to jail. I mean, shit. Can't we get some
Right.
more of that these days? Like,
I mean,
Well, in
Wow.
Massachusetts,
So-
they just go drunk, so
yeah.
Maybe with this new, national news pieces, because like I always
Yes.
say, we can discuss things for hours and hours on YouTube, and we want to. We're hoping we can make a difference, but sometimes the conversations need to move outside of YouTube because mainstream people aren't here consuming YouTube. That's like when these defense attorneys are like, oh, well, there's too much publicity. My case will be thrown. We can't have a trial in this town. Ma'am, nobody's watching YouTube about your case but us, not you. Well, exactly. I mean, there are a lot of people who do watch, but I don't, as far as the country as a whole, not a lot of them are coming home at the end of the day and watching YouTube. They're busy. They got the kids to feed. They got the house to clean, the laundry. Let's turn on the evening news in the background while I do this. So get it out there. Let people say, what in the world was that story I just heard? Let me stop and rewatch that when these kids go to bed. Let me we'll go back a minute, right? So hopefully it can get out there outside of YouTube, because I feel like it just, it's all over Facebook and TikTok and YouTube, but how far out does other stuff reach, right?
and it's getting it into the right hands as well. Someone that is going to
Yes.
tell the story properly and not sensationalize it.
Yeah.
Yes, and not be afraid to show what these women are saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I get they wanted to they should be trying to validate everything as best they can, but still their
Fucking right.
sources. Bring their
Fucking right.
stories out, right? Bring their
Yes.
stories out. Let the
Yes.
public decide
Thank
if
you.
this is true or not, right? It's not for some people around a conference table at Court TV to decide. It shouldn't be, and I
No.
get they have their own legal
Agenda.
things they have to follow, right? You can't just say certain things without some backup, but still they need to put your stories out there and let the public figure out what's going on here.
Yeah.
Because if there's just the judge shot the sheriff or the sheriff shot the judge, and that's all people in the mainstream media world knows.
Yep.
They may not know a lot of the details. There's not a ton out there. We're getting updates every now and then when there's a document or a hearing, but not
There's
a
a
lot
hearing
of
coming up.
time.
Is it
Yeah.
this week? There's a hearing for Mickey.
I have to check my
For
notes.
both-
Well,
I know there was something, wasn't there this week? Something about the bond, or was
Something's
the
supposed to
bond.
happen, but I don't know what it is.
He was granted. There was two things. I'd have to go back to my notes. I got my
Granted a
file.
bond hearing.
He was granted the bond hearing, but at the when I went to air the other day, well, when you were in my chat, they hadn't set the date for that bond hearing yet.
They have now, and I'm sure I posted it in one of my last lives, but I think it was the 18th at 1:30. They were going to address the motions that they haven't addressed yet, which is the change of venue.
Oh yeah.
And I think possibly the
which
bond. So,
I just don't know what they're going to do with that one.
It says here, let's see, what is this? Mountaintop Media.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they do a better job than anybody else around here at covering the from.
I think they're out of Pikeville.
The other places
Thursday,
don't.
yeah. So Defense Rest is correct. Thursday, December 18th at 1:30, a hearing intended to get an update where the case stands from the prosecution and defense attorneys, as well as to hear all pending motions.
Yeah.
So
is that going to be on? Is that scheduled on Court TV or?
I don't know that if Court TV will air it. They did the preliminary hearing, way back, but I don't know what Kentucky's allowing us to see. I don't even know if they're going to allow. There hasn't been a motion for cameras not to be in the courtroom, as far as I know.
I don't think so, have they? Now, they did put some papers in. Did you notice they put new papers in the elevator and stuff, Ty? Sarah took a picture of them.
I didn't go upstairs. I was downstairs. I just went through the metal detector and.
I'll have to get her to send it to me.
And then we went straight into the district.
I think it had to do with filming, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there was. They did have. They had signs up on the outer doors that said "No filming."
Well, they've got them.
This is a public building.
Right, they've got them inside. They aren't
arguing that and telling them. They were like, "No, you can't be recording here," like right in front of the courthouse. And they made them take them down. I think somebody made them take them down.
Well, there's one in front of the elevator, on the elevator, and like as soon as you get off the elevator, and I think there was one on the courtroom door.
I need to go and pay on my fines, and I've only got $300 left to pay off my fines, or the court fees is what it is. Court fees for all the shit that they did to me. I got to pay them for it. So, that's all I got left. All my restitution and stuff is paid. But whenever I go do that, like later in the week, I will keep my eyes peeled and look. I'll
have Sarah send me that. Let's see.
Well,
I'll go ask somebody about it.
Well, a lot of courthouses. A lot of courthouses aren't going to allow you to videotape inside the courtroom. That's the thing here in my state. I mean, you're not allowed to walk in that courtroom with your phone out, videotaping it inside.
No, you can't do that. But out in the hallways and outside the building and things like that. That's public domain.
Can you do audio?
Well, in Karen Reed case,
you
zone around the courthouse, but we don't got a buffer zone around this courthouse. So what's up with that? Why can't we be outside with a camera?
What I'm going by is the federal law or state. I don't know if it's federal law or state law. I think it's both. That you can record audio of any conversation that you take part of. Any conversation you're part of, you have the right. Like it's
not in Florida.
To record it.
Not in Florida.
But maybe not with your camera out. But
I don't.
I just turn my audio on and just lay my phone down on the podium.
That's what I do. I put audio and lay it down.
Yeah, you can record all day long, but if you record my conversation in the state of Florida, and you try to release that, you're in trouble. We are. No. We don't. You can't even bring that shit into court in Florida. And you better not wiretap somebody without them knowing it. Receipt recordings.
Well, wiretapping and stuff. That's different. That whenever it's your right to be able to protect yourself.
Oh yeah, if you want to go in there and record the proceeding, right? Because you know they're not going to be on.
That's your evidence.
Do it. They shouldn't have to know it, right? You said, just put record and just lay it down.
Here's what it says. Administrative order. The court being Okay, she's got it sideways, so y'all be patient here with me. Being concerned with the decorum, security, and protection of persons doing business within the Letcher County Courthouse, and finding it necessary to provide a secure facility for the Administrative Office of Courts and Division of Court Security, the Chief Circuit Judge does hereby order pursuant SCR 1 point, I can't read those because they're sideways, but there shall be no photographing, filming, or recording in and on any premises of the Letcher County Courthouse except as provided herein. The Letcher County Courthouse includes all areas within the interior and exterior walls of the building including public sidewalks and parking. This order does not restrict these actions when controlled off court premises outside the entrances and exits. So basically nothing inside. It's saying you can't any activity which obstructs, accesses or operates or compromises security will be considered a violation of this order. Media may be requested permission to photograph, film, or record in specific courtrooms where the proceeding judge may, in their discretion, permit these activities in the courtroom and only in the presence of the presiding judge. In such case, court security shall escort media. How can they do that? If they have a press pass, can they do that?
Mm.
Said escort the media to and from specific. It says media may request permission to photograph, film, record specific courtrooms for the presiding judge may, in their discretion, permit the activities in that courtroom only. So I guess it's up to the judge, but any authorization to photograph and film or record in a courtroom in connection with a court proceeding does not extend to common areas. Okay. That's just.
It sounds like standard procedure. And when the media wants to come in and film, record, take photographs, they're allowed.
They have to, yeah.
They're allowed, but there are a lot of times there's a court order. They'll petition the court to be the media pool or whatever. There's a whole process behind that.
Yeah.
But what she just read is standard word salad lingo for a courtroom. And and honestly, we want them to be safe. I went down to the courthouse. We have a new one built, and I hadn't never been down there, and I had to go down there. I think it was a year ago. I think my kid had a $25 citation. I don't even remember what he did. And I went down there to pay it for him. But I had this little tiny pocket knife in my purse that had been there for a couple of years, right? The little zipper, the lining was torn and it had went way down in there. And I could never get it out. I kind of forgot about it. So I go in there and I put my purse there. Of course, it goes through and I go through and they're like, wait a minute, ma'am. And I'm like, what? And they're like, you got something in there. I'm like, I do, And of course, that's what it was. And the cop laughed at me and I was like, I can't get that out of there. And he's like, I can't get it out either. He's like, I tell you what, let me just escort you where you need to go, and then I'll escort you. So I'm like, great. There was literally nobody in the courthouse but me. But there I was having to get escorted to go pay my kids $25 citation, probably for, I don't even know what he did. And I had to get escorted because of that little pocket knife. But
a little one got me sent back to the car.
Right.
Last time Caleb had to go.
But I don't blame you, Tya, for wanting to record your.
I had a taser and a pepper spray and a knife in my purse when I was and he took it out of my purse and locked it in the filing cabinet. And
Right.
I was
Well, they're
like,
lucky my
I'm
taser
sorry
went
that
in
I'm
reverse
traveling
that day.
today and I'm a woman and I'm not
Right.
about to get jumped. And he said, I don't blame you. He says, he's like, it's okay. He says, good that you're willing to defend yourself. And he
Well,
locked it up. And then he gave it back whenever I went to leave. So
yeah, now that I'm back in
the
town,
whole
my
fucking hallway
taser's
was
in
full of
my
people
purse.
though. And I was standing there like he just kept pulling weapons out of my purse.
Out of her purse.
Hey, you
Hey.
can't never be too careful. We need
Yeah.
weapons everywhere. We
And I
know
mean,
there's
and we
so
live
many
on a
freaks
farm,
out
so I
there.
have to have a knife, like all the time. So
Well,
yeah.
I wonder if you can go back. I'm in Florida, so everything's available through FOIA, right? I'm so used to we can get it all, and I know other states are so not like my state. But with your cases that are already done, like you said, you're having to go in and record the proceedings. There should be transcripts of those proceedings that could be received under FOIA request.
Well, I've been
Yeah.
asking the state for that
Right.
transcribed audit over my child support for months.
Right.
And the judge said
Found
the
out.
other day that I didn't need a FOIA for it. It's my case.
Exactly. You shouldn't.
And I was like, well, like where do I get it? And the
Have you
child
got a
support
video
office kept saying that I needed to come down there on another day and tell them I wanted it. And then he said, wait a minute, no, she's asking for it right now. Can you not just put the order in for it and do it? Like, let's go ahead and get it for her. Like, it's her case.
that
You don't have to
recorded
get it
anywhere?
for you or fill nothing out.
Is that
So-
video recorded anywhere?
Do what?
Is that video recorded anywhere, that hearing?
That's the audio that y'all are cleaning up.
Okay, yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah.
But the proceeding wasn't recorded with like a
No.
video camera. There
No.
were no cameras. in
No,
the
there's no
courtroom.
video.
Just your audio.
Just
right.
the audio. Yeah.
And it's sad that you have to feel like you have to go that far to protect yourself in a courtroom proceeding. That you have to record
Well,
it yourself.
on my cases, I didn't even get lawyers on my criminal cases.
What?
I saw a lawyer one time
No.
the day of my finals, or the day they made me sign my plea deal.
Ineffective.
And I didn't have any options. That was the only deal I got. And then they lied to me. They told me I had 7.5 years. When I got to prison, it was 12.5 years. So there's no way in hell I'm not taking an audio recorder in with me. I don't care what the law says.
Miranda,
Like I'm at that point with it. No, like
Two
you're going to be
different
held accountable
papers.
for your actions from this point forward. Simple.
Well, I don't think anybody can blame you.
And
for-
I'm not like I think a lot of it has to do with what you do with that recording as well. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
Right.
It's
I mean,
for
you got it,
purposes
you're
of
not-
evidence, and it will be filed away with the evidence. Like I'm going to share the good parts, the positive parts of it, which it was an
Right.
entirely positive experience. So you would think they would want that stuff made public anyway, but
Right.
Right, it is
Well-
what it is. So nobody's told me not to, but I'm going to share like the good bits of it that can be useful to helping other people.
Yeah.
Like, because that's the whole point in this is to try to solve these problems. And if we're keeping secrets and still doing stuff and not letting no transparency, then nothing's ever going to get solved. So,
Well, they're starting to come up
Yeah.
with this. We're seeing a lot of cases where you want gag orders, and the media is going crazy, and all the people, and they're shutting everything down.
mhm.
And don't blame
That shit's
us.
unacceptable.
Well, they're trying to shift the blame to society now. Y'all are the reasons we have to keep everything under wraps because y'all just go
Did
nuts.
you
with it.
see
We're not buying that. Don't do that. Not all
your
of us go
email,
nuts with it.
Jody? I sent you an email of a X post of FBI ask X users to please stop solving the crimes before they do.
oh yes, I actually saw that myself.
So that's why, because we pay attention and stuff, like we know their dirty tricks and shit. That's why we're able to solve the fucking crimes and figure this
Yep.
shit out, because we know how to protect ourselves
Dog shit.
and not fall for their legal mumbo jumbo word salad. Because all that is a trickery loop that gets you entrapped.
Correct.
You got to learn what those words mean in legalese, not just in your Webster's dictionary, because they have different meanings for the courts. So you just got to be specific. Know your shit,
Yeah.
Did you find it?
Yeah, it's on the screen. An FBI called
Oh,
internet sleuths, particularly X users, to stop solving crimes before they have a chance to do so. Why can't they use us? Why can't they make
Right. Like you would think that they would be like, thank you. But no, let's not solve them because we didn't solve it. What?
Yeah. How about you use us?
Right.
You have so many families that are so passionate about family members they've lost, and if they would
Yes.
just listen to their tips and
Yeah.
the
And
calls
this
that they got, and just listen to them. They know things about their own family members. Cases that could open things back up, but when you can't get them to even bring these things back, it's sad.
As an incentive, the FBI is promising not to raid anyone who complies. What the fuck?
See, that's a direct threat.
Yes.
You comply, or we will raid you and prosecute you. We will retaliate. That is what that says. So, like, the FBI is not our friends. They are not here to help us. They're not here to help us. That's what the kind of shit that fucking, like it. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
That's crazy.
Bullshit. Yeah. You're going to put us all out of a job. It should be a united teamwork. Not
So
fucking,
maybe all the tax money that goes into them should be poured back into these true crime workers.
yeah.
The internet sleuths. Send them some fucking incentive checks
Yeah.
Right?
out of that tax money instead of the useless FBI that just admitted they were useless and promises not to retaliate if we stop now. What the fuck?
It's crazy. FBI is that one entity, or it's like, we want them in and we don't. Sometimes they're like, they come in, do good jobs. Sometimes we're like, well, what the hell are they doing?
Yeah.
It's like that with the FBI.
Yeah.
It's crazy how they decide to move with some
That's
cases.
I'm sure there's
others-
good agents away from here, but
Yeah.
the ones that we've had locally
Yeah.
are worse than the people that they're attacking, and trapping.
We should all be on the same side
Don't
here.
get me started on the drugs.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. There's that too.
It's the whole system is rotten to the core.
Did I hear you say earlier that your the child support and your supervised visitation with, is it Leah, that you have to have supervised visitation until she
Not
turns
supervised visitation, supervised parole. I go in every month. I'm subject to drug tests,
Until
random
she's
searches
33.
and seizures, and I have to pay their fees and fines and stuff. Which I don't. It's been a while. I've already paid off all my restitution
Until she's 33.
at least.
Until
So that-
33.
But yeah, he said until she turns 33. The entire courtroom, and it was packed. Everybody in there went,
Yeah,
gasped
33.
when he said that. Like, I was like, we are Americans. We have rights. I don't know what y'all think is going to continue here, but this ain't it. We've got to do something.
So
We've
you have to
got
pay
to
child
take a
support
stand.
until she's 33.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That she doesn't get. She doesn't get any of that money. None of it.
So you need laws changed there too. Fucking hell. See, that's the problem when you've got all these people in those powerful positions.
And
They
he
can-
says it's not the child support's fault, but he don't have control. Well, then who does? Who do I talk to? I just got called in to come to court for a show cause. Let's show cause.
Yeah.
Here's my cause. My bills are paid. I did the right thing. I did what I was supposed to do. I finished my sentence. Let's show cause.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
And a lot of with FBI and stuff, they tend to move their agents around. They don't want them living in one area for too long, because
Yeah.
then you live.
no, they come in, they
work,
infiltrate,
and
they
then-
do their thing, and then they move
Exactly.
along to a
Too
different town.
many connections can be made. There's too many things
Yeah.
that can happen, and we can't say, "Oh, they're FBI. They would never do it." Well, have you seen how many times they have been done it? Right? FBI agents that are caught doing this and caught doing that. It's corruption across the board with a lot of agencies, unfortunately, and we don't, as a society, we shouldn't want to put up with that anymore. We don't
Right.
need corruption from our highest powered people that are supposed to help. They expect
The
us
ones that's
to
supposed to
follow
be
the
keeping us
law.
safe that are out here feeding us drugs instead and making us more
Exactly.
vulnerable so that they can arrest us and make us pay them.
Exactly.
Well,
They
it's like,
expect you
who
to
do we
follow the
tell?
law.
who do we tell our children now to trust?
Right.
You know, if the parents don't have trust with, the justice system or the cops or our 3-letter agencies, we're losing all this trust. What do we tell our kids? Because when we were growing up, you could trust a cop. I was told, no matter what situation, you go to a cop. Go to a cop. You tell them your name, your parents' name. This is what you do, and I don't feel safe doing that.
I tell my kids, look for a mom.
Look for a mom. Somebody that looks like a mom.
I used to make my kids.
If they're in trouble in a public place, yell, "Mom!"
Somebody will turn.
Rape, don't yell rape. Nobody will help you. Yell fire. Yell mommy. Yell something like that, and if there is anybody, it's a woman's instinct, I think. No, I don't think all women have it, but I think most have it, even those who haven't even had children yet.
Yeah.
Have that instinct when they hear that.
Your mom.
It triggers that fire that something's wrong. Like somebody's in trouble. Somebody needs help. And it's just part of our nature, our nurturing nature to protect. So like I grew up being told the opposite of Brandy. You don't trust them. These motherfuckers are corrupt. This one does this. That one does that. This one does. They're awful. They're awful. You don't trust them. They're dangerous.
Well,
so
that was a thing that moved across our country for, the past 30 years, where communities didn't trust law enforcement. And we've seen it in the communities where
for good reason.
Oh, well, yeah. A lot of times there was good reason. Sometimes there wasn't. Sometimes it was like, well, we're all criminals, so the cops are just bad. But sometimes it literally was, you're going to be profiled because of the way you look.
You're going to be persecuted and profiled no matter what, because of your neighborhood, because of your family members, because of the opioids that they forced down your throat and got you addicted to.
I've got a kid who, I got 2 grown kids. Well, he's grown now, but to me, he just turned 19. But when he turned 18, we had another talk. You're now 18. You are legally an adult. And my boy is a good boy. He's still in school. He works full time. He has never, knock on wood, got in trouble. But he doesn't look like a thug, but he's got long, shoulder length hair. He just got him a brand new tattoo yesterday. I'm like, boy, be careful what you get. Let me see a picture of it, make sure it ain't crazy. But I worry if he doesn't act the right way when approached, is what will happen. So I want him to be sure you don't smart off, you don't come out, but they don't have the right to search all your, have your rights. I want him to
I tell Leah, stand up for yourself respectfully.
I think with my kids
that you can't be anymore,
They were so hard on my oldest one that it made me so hard on my middle son to be like, you don't do this out in public, and you don't say this, and you don't make this person mad, and they're looking at you because of your brother, So, he was very limited to, like, kind of smothered him to death, because I felt like I had to protect him and Sarah some way, because everything else was out of control.
Though he's so family oriented and so focused on protecting us, and like everybody involved, like everybody else is always on his mind, And I think that's what instilled that in him was, just having to be on edge and on guard. And he's seen it, he's seen it. He's seen what they were doing to everybody.
Yeah.
Just like Sarah, she was like, I know that you've been doing this your whole life, but this is scary and I don't know how to handle it. Like talking about they're trying to kill me. And she was like, I know that they've been trying to kill you your whole life, but I don't know how to handle it. And I was like, you just roll with the punches, baby. Just roll with the punches.
You just roll. That's it.
Keep in contact. We keep our locations on. We have multiple devices with location linked to different people. Like we've got a whole safety system.
We tell people if we're going out, who we're going out with.
Yeah.
If it's somebody different or whatever, we kind of just make sure everybody knows where everybody is.
Well, I don't blame you. Right now, you kind of have to because you don't know who's looking, who's watching, who's waiting in the backgrounds to do something to silence people. Well, hopefully they are nervous because the fact there is
Fucking
court
should be.
TV, coming to town. There's investigators possibly there knocking on doors, asking questions. They should be very nervous, and they should know that if anything happens to any one of y'all, they're going to be looked at immediately, or they should.
They will
I got
be.
it. Yeah.
Oh, they will
And
be. Yeah.
I think
That's
another
why they
noise would be
Leah.
made that they
That's
would have
been
to
one
go
plus about like the way they've been coming for Leah and everything is we've been
Yeah.
able to document it and turn it in.
Yeah.
Every single time they do something to retaliate against one of us, like it is made public or given to the authorities
because
that are going to help.
they're
So
I mean, the
like
abuse
they
of
just they're
power.
digging their own hole with
Yeah,
it.
the abuse of power should be looked at. Taking children from families and placing them here and yonder, and all the child support stuff that's been involved. There's like a whole there's layers and layers.
There's a whole nationwide movement against the CPS, the CPS Human Trafficking Network.
Well, when I've told this story here a lot with Florida, there was a time our Department of Children and Families was a hot mess, to say the least. That's putting it nicely. And we had a little girl come up it may be about 20 years now. She went missing in the state of Florida's care. Turned out nobody had placed eyes on that little girl for 2 solid years. Her social worker wasn't going to the home to do visits to confirm that she was even there. They were getting reports that she's fine. And then finally someone began to look, and there's like, this little girl's not even here. Turns out she had been deceased, unalived, by people who was taking care of her. And the public said, wait a second, what are we doing here? You want us to support this department and give money to help place children in need and all the things, but here y'all got one on your watch that y'all didn't know where it was for 2 years. Pushback happened, and the entire department was overhauled. Is it perfect now? I'm not going to sit here and tell you it is, but it's a whole heck of a lot better than it used to be.
I think
a lot of times that pushback has to happen.
When I did foster care, the squeaky wheel got the grease. And if you were a foster parent that took your kids to the doctor, which I always did, they're my kids, I need to go with them, not their workers. So I would take them to their appointments, their therapy, and they acted like I was an oddball but in my mind, I'm trying to create a family for this child that it might have some normal, and mom's going to appointments is normal, and if I'm going with my other 3, why would I not go with you too? Right. So I never could understand, but there's a lot of social workers. If you're doing fine, everything's going fine, and there's no complaints, you may go a long time and not hear from them. It's not something you may hear monthly to even, which is something they should do. They should, and they shouldn't warn us. I mean, even as an ex-foster parent, they'll call and be, are you going to be home Wednesday? Yeah, I'll be home Wednesday. Well, you're telling me you're coming to my home Wednesday. So I need to have everything together Wednesday.
Right. You got time to get it all together.
Right. Don't tell me. You do me the same way you do the parents, the same way you do everybody else. Show up.
Yeah.
Say, hey, we're here. Just wanted to drop in and see how you doing today. And I never could understand the heads up of the, where we're coming. I mean, I knew. Right. But in my mind, that wasn't my, my reason would have been, I would be one of the social workers that would be like, oh, I was in the neighborhood. How you doing?
Exactly. You shouldn't be, because giving them warning, I don't care who the foster parents are, or even a parent being investigated for allegations, you need to show up unannounced. That's when you find out if there's what's really happening in the home. Because if you give them a heads up, like you said, we're going to be there on Wednesday. Oh, I got 2 to 3 days to get this house in shape, get some groceries,
get paperwork together.
Together. We look perfect, right? We're good to go. yep, everything's great. Let's sign off on it and drive away. And that shouldn't be how it is, because
No.
kids deserve better than that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which, the ones that are, there's kids that are removed for very, very, very minor reasons. There's kids that are removed for the heaviest of reasons, right? And sometimes the wrong kids, not the wrong kids, the kids are sent back to the wrong home. Sometimes they're putting kids back in homes they don't need to be in, and never should be in.
Right.
And then they're not letting them go back to the homes where maybe one little misstep happened, And as a society, it's so easy to sit around and judge another parent when you don't know what was happening in that home with the mother, the father, the child, or any of those
Right.
things. There's so much we don't know. And we got to get to a point where we try to figure out what was going on as a society. We got,
Yeah.
a girl here that was just shot and burned and left in the woods, and she was a child, and 2 other children did that to her. And then we had a
Did.
grown man stumble across the crime scene. He steals an item from the crime scene, but goes home and doesn't report the crime. As a society and my community, I'm not putting up with that.
No.
That could have been my daughter dead in the woods, and some random guy is going to walk by. Oh, let me steal her scooter, and I'll never call the cops to say I saw that in the woods. It's
Right.
time. Who does that, right?
Right. Who?
Who does that? And what's wrong with people just, I don't want to see that, I'm going to ignore what just happened. We can't
Yeah.
do that anymore. It's not fair. To those of us who are out here trying to live a good life and trying to be good people and protect our loved ones, but we got to watch our backs every time we walk out that front door.
Yeah.
To the point
That's
where
for sure.
some of us don't even want to go out that door because we know how much evil, even from the people who are in power to protect you, can sometimes be the devil in disguise. And that's
Oh, yeah.
it's a frightening thing that anybody should not have to live with that. And I just really hope that you ladies are vindicated and get the justice all of you deserve. All of
Thank
you.
you.
I mean, you do, Brandy. I mean, you and Tya have never given me the impression you're out here for your 5 minutes, or you're out here just to stir a pot. You're out here just to talk smack. I've never gotten that impression from you two. You're just here to tell your truth and your story and your version of what. And it's not even your version, it's what happened, right? And
Yeah.
people want to choose to blame you. That says more about them. I can't
Exactly. It says more about them than it does about us.
Tya, we can beat our head against a wall trying to fix society. We're still a lot of us trying to wrap our heads around why people support certain people. We can see they're absolutely bad people, but people gonna do people. We can just hope that the right people listen, and we're not left feeling with everybody in power is going to be corrupt and nobody's going to care. Because I'm not going to put up with that as a society member. I'm born and raised right here in the United States of America. I've been living in Florida my entire life, and I'm just tired of putting up with society's excuses a lot of times too.
Yeah.
People's bad behavior.
Yeah.
Sometimes your life and what you were shown, and if you were never given the proper tools to even try, that's one thing. But for people to make, like the people who were harming the people of your town, they made a choice to do that. They're educated. They're not on the drugs that we know of. So what was their reason for going corrupt and participating?
Many of them were on the drugs.
Activity? Well, I'm sure they were.
Yeah.
So why were they participating in illegal activity? Quit worrying about what these girls' illegal activity was the whole time.
Yeah.
Let's focus on your illegal activity the whole time.
Yeah.
And that's where I want to see the focus go now,
Yep.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get there with that. And we're here to support you guys. I know my community feels that way. I can see the defense rest feels that way. And I've got I didn't realize that 2 of my favorite people are her mods, Simi and Tricia. They're always coming over, and I'm like, those are my girls. I'm like, look. So I appreciate finding your channel as well, and you coming into my chat the other day. And
Thanks for having me.
And thanks for having me up this morning. I was just sitting here with my coffee, saw you guys, and I remember seeing that you were going to do it. And then I'm just sitting here like, okay, they're live, so I'm going to watch. But I appreciate y'all letting me come up and having the conversation with you guys, because conversation, right? It
Yes,
has
that's
to
what
be
it's about. It has to happen. Yep.
Yeah.
exactly.
You're welcome to come on anytime with us too. We'd love to have you.
More than
Yeah.
happy to come on yours too, Salty. Like the more we talk about it, the more it gets out there.
I
Yeah.
do appreciate that, ladies, and I got a lot going on this week, but I will regroup this weekend and get with you guys and see if we can get something in the works and
Yeah, 'cause
you
things
know,
are
get it
happening.
out. Yeah, get it out there and have the conversations, because they're so important. But I'm going to jump down for the morning, guys. Again, thank you for letting me come up. I appreciate it, and you guys hit the like button for her, share it out. It's not about you know, I'm so bad about saying those things. Hit the like, do all the YouTubey things, but it really helps get the message out there. Right? That's just the way YouTube works. It's not for us to build our channels. We so over all that talk. Get the story
Get
out
the
there.
message out. Yep.
Yeah,
Drop
get
your
it
link
heard.
in the
Absolutely.
chat, right?
Yeah. And share it out, guys. Even if you share a link on your social media, say your Facebook page, you don't even got to say anything. Just share a link out. Maybe somebody in your
Share the
bubble
screen.
will click on it and watch and go, wow, what is this? You know, and then they'll start talking about it. So we have a voice. Let's try to use it for good, you know. So
Salty, can you drop your link in the chat too, darling?
yes, I can do that. Let me grab that real quick. Do that. Yeah. In fact, I got a show coming up on the 18th with a local missing girl. I will have her sister on. She's got a couple of social media accounts where she's just really trying to get attention back on this very old case. So I appreciate you guys for even doing this. I mean, where's my channel? I got lost for a moment. I'm like, what am I doing here? But I just, sharing keeping that story out there and alive. And we will look forward to finding out when Court TV finally does air that piece, Tya, and we'll make sure that we, promote it, get it out there, and hopefully people will see it in the mainstream world, and can finally start to move that, because not everybody watches Brian Enton on YouTube. God love him. We love his boots on the ground efforts, but not everybody's going to be watching that. I don't know. Outside of Court TV, not everybody watches Court TV either, but a lot of people do.
News Nation covers us some too.
Yeah,
Who
News
Allison
Nation
Hope
has,
Warner
and
is
I'm
with.
hoping I hope that after the Court TV piece, News Nation does more, right? That Brian Enton, whatever he's been doing down there, they can put out more as well. Because with those two, out there putting it out, maybe that can get some, I just hope there's an investigation going on into the level of corruption in the town, and they can just peel back all the layers, because the town deserves better. I mean, that's your town. I don't care who the higher ups are that hold a position. It's your town too. Just like this is my town that I live in. Don't dare mess around the town, right? And they mess with your entire livelihoods.
Yeah.
And that's unacceptable. Unacceptable. All right, guys. Well, thank you again for having me. I'm going to jump down. I got to go take off for a few hours and do some thingies outside this door, and it's going to take all my energy. I'll need a nap.
Go feed my cat and stuff. Probably bust the water for the goats. I'd say it's already froze since this morning.
Oh, goodness. Oh, Lordy. I can't even imagine. All right. Well, you guys stay warm wherever you're at in your part of the world's bundle up and all the good things. All right. Well, thank you again for having me, and good luck, Tya. Brandy, if I can do anything, let me know, and I'll be in touch. We'll set something up. Thank you, the Defense Press. You guys have a good one.
Me too. Bye.
Yes, like you have missed a lot. And as you, Nubs Revenge, you've come in right at the tail end.
I'm going to jump out of here. I've got to go do my goat.
I was going to say, we'll wind it up. It's been over 3 hours now. I don't think you've got
Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you so much again for joining us, sweethearts. And may you have the bestest week this week.
You too.
And I'll be in touch with you anyway.
All right. Yep. Holler at me.
Bye-bye. Take care.
All right. Bye.
All right. Ooh, that's not very nice. Ooh, nobody likes that. All right. So finally, I will just put up. So the QR code at the top is for Tya and Brandy's YouTube channel. Please go over and give it a like and a sub. They're building it up as a resource centre for all of the victims. But I think that I categorise Tya and Brandy as survivors, basically, because they have turned a negative into a positive and continue to do so non-stop. So, yes, I did send it to her, sweetheart, and obviously she hasn't had a chance to listen to it because she was on here. But, yes, come on by any time. Hit that like and subscribe. That'd be good. The more people that we can reach, the better. Yeah, and I have, if anyone wants to have Tya and Brandy, like, to interview them, I'm more than happy to share their details with you. I have their permission. So hit me up. You know where I'm at. All of my contact details are on my channel in the description box below. Alrighty? And I will put it in the description box of this stream as well. Okay? Be good. Can't be good. Be good at it. And I will see you when I'm looking at you. Hasta la vistas, bitches.
Hey there, thanks for stopping in. We hope you will join us again. We all look forward to next time. We get to talk about true crime. Clues. Justice served in an honest fight. True crime tales till the verdict's right. Solving more than just trivial quests, where sentences rule and the defense rests. Our true crime family is great. All types of topics we debate. Smash that like and ring that bell. Hit subscribe, you might as well.